Need
Tis the day before Christmas and all through the league. One special gift some teams would love to receive. Here the holiday heat sets in a cool Jim Everett, who's kept the spirits flowing among his celebrated elves. He knows who's been naughty and nice and doesn't need to check his playlist twice. A playoff spot is all they want. These elves aren't ready to throw in the towel. On Flipper, on Henry, and Greg will ring the bell. Because their Santa, old St. Robinson, is dreaming of more than playoffs and holiday spirit. He says, ho, 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 a Super Bowl, here we go. The Rams-Patriots game wasn't on the Christmas list of many New Englanders. They've stayed away in droves, and it will not be a large crowd here this afternoon. The Rams can clinch a playoff spot with a win today. If they lose, L.A. needs help. A Minnesota loss tomorrow against Cincinnati or a Green Bay loss today at Dallas will get them in. The weather not as bad as expected. 21 degrees right now. First time it's been out of the teens in almost a week. And Merry Christmas, everybody. I'm Tim Brandt, along with the guy with the big claws, Dan Jiggetts. Hey, Dan, let's talk about this game, first of all. The Rams come in here. They need a win to get into the playoffs, but they traditionally have not played well in cold weather.
But I think that really goes out the window today, and if it goes out the window, it's going to be very cold. But the Rams are going to go deep early today, I think, to Everett and Anderson, and that's going to put them on the board and try to bury the Patriots as soon as this game starts.
How about New England now? What motivates them? It's a team, Raymond Berry gave most of the week off to recuperate. It's a team without much motivation. They're 5-10, nothing really to play for. What motivates them?
Well, I think it is pride. And the other thing is Raymond Berry's done something a little different this time around. Normally at the end of the season, if you're out of the playoffs, you get to go home. Well, this time Raymond Berry says, hey, I want you guys to stick around for another team meeting on the 26th of December. Also, remember, Mark Wilson, the starting quarterback for the Patriots today, is going with a dislocated fracture on his index finger of his throwing hand. So we'll see how that develops as the day goes on.
All right, Dan, a look at Mark Wilson there. And, of course, New England will be kicking off. Look at this. The Rams have made the playoffs 5 of the last 6 years under Coach Robinson. They'll try to make it 6 out of 7 today. And New England has been very successful in season-ending games played here at Sullivan Stadium, 4-0. And we should pass this along as well. Raymond Berry said this team will not quit. It's got a lot of fight in it. Jason Starowski will be kicking off to Ron Brown and Bobby Del Pino. It's Brown at the 10. Across the 25 to the 27-yard line, and that's where the Rams will start. So bring on Jim Everett. Starting quarterback, leads the NFL in yards. You see that. And offensively, the rest of the talent that surrounds him. Hankey, Newberry, Smith, Slayton, and Jackie Slater. Johnson is the tight end. The wideouts are dangerous. All the skilled folks are. Bell, McGee in the backfield with Ellard and Flipper Anderson out wide. Holohan and Cox come in and passing downs, obvious passing downs when they spread the formation. Speed everywhere. First down, Rams. Everett's first pass, it's complete to the 37-yard line. Bobby Del Pino will be close to a first down. I think he got it. A gain of 11. Defensively for New England, it's Hodge, Tim Goad, and Brent Williams up front. They go in a 3-4 scheme, then they'll load up even more linebackers. Schultz, Reynolds, Rambert, and McGrew, the linebackers. In the secondary, Hurst, the longtime veteran Claiborne, Marion, and James. Bowman and Holmes, the nickel and dime backs. Hurst is the guy that they will probably pick on today. He's young and he bites a lot of times quickly. First down at the 40. Bell with a big hole, bangs his way out close to midfield. They'll mark it at the 49-yard line. It'll bring up second down and 1.
That time you saw Rembert, number 52, coming in on the blitz. Now you're going to see him flash right in the front of your screen. He's blocked in the backfield, and that's the key to the play because that really springs Bell. You see him coming up now. If you blitz and you take that opportunity, sometimes you're going to get burned, and that's what happened to the Patriots that time. Good blocking by the Rams up front.
I don't know whether to give Fred Marion credit for that tackle or just getting in the way. He was run over by Bell. Second down and 1. Rams. First down. 4 or 5 more. Tim Goad makes the stop.
One of the things I want fans at home to look for today, Tim, is with the Rams, their offensive line. Now, they do something that's particular to the Rams, and that is watching them there, going to their pass protection, watch the position that those offensive linemen are in. Good extension on those arms and keeping their heads back, and what that does is it keeps those defensive linemen off their quarterback because they keep good separation. Watch them when they pass protect.
First down, the Rams go with 2 tight ends. Holohan comes into the ball game now for L.A. Everett throws the out pattern as incomplete to Henry Ellard. And it's another Rams first down. So we talk about the tradition that they've had in cold weather. This team has come out firing.
Well, you know, they came in yesterday and practiced a little bit, got a feel for the weather. It was a little colder yesterday than it is today. And as you know, it's a little bit warmer down in the field than it is up top here because the sun is shining down there. So
it's
also not in bad shape.
It's in the 80s out in Southern California. A gain of 14, first down. The ball at New England's 30. This is Greg Bell, right side, big hole. And lunges forward to about the 23.
Key block there by Damone Johnson, number 86, tight end for the Rams. He's getting a nice block in the corner. Watch Damone Johnson, 86, on the right side of your screen. Watch him hook block here. Let us get out there and get that linebacker out of the way. Pushes him down out of the way. That allows Bell to spring in. He also got a good block from McGee that time. Help out those guys in your backfield. You know, they help you out when you need them to block for you.
The tackle was made by Ed Reynolds, the captain. He's been playing with a groin injury. It's second down, they need 3. The ball at the 23. Straight ahead goes Bell. Bangs his way up to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it. Johnny Rembert made the stop there.
They call him Rambo because he just wreaks havoc all over the football field, and that time he made a nice stop.
Started playing baseball before he started playing anything else. He didn't pick up football until late.
That was the good news for a lot of guys.
Junior in high school when he first started playing football. Went to junior college, got a couple of scholarships, wanted to go to Florida. They didn't want him. He ended up at Clemson, and he's still playing. 7-year veteran. Third down and a long one. 2 tight ends for the Rams. Tackler gets the first down. He's down to the 17. Fred Marion makes the tackle. 4th first down on this drive. L.A. started on its own 29.
You think back to all the years that John Robinson at the Rams has 1,000-yard rushers, and everybody's saying, hey, look, this year, what's going to happen? Bell doesn't look like he's running as well. Well, he may very well get his 1,000 yards today. I think he had 927 coming in.
Talking with John Robinson yesterday, we mentioned that L.A. had won its first 5 games. We're off to a quick start. Then they lost 4, but then turned things around and won 5 of the last 6. He turned it around, and he says that's a credit to this young team. First down at the 17. Everett looks down near the goal line, intercepted by Marion. And Marion returns it to the 20. So the Patriots aren't ready to quit the season yet. An 18-yard return, the tackle made by Doug Smith.
Fred Marion was playing a little bit of center field. You see him right in the middle of your screen, 31. He's a safety back there. He's going to float back near that goal line, watch which way the quarterback looks, and then break on the ball. And that's exactly what he did. Clifford Anderson was the receiver down there, the intended receiver, and not Fred Marion.
10:56 remaining first quarter. New England stops them. Raymond Berry has never lost a year-ender here at Sullivan Stadium. And now New England jumps up and stops the Rams after an impressive drive. First down, Patriots at the 20. It's complete to Perryman. Well, that finger looks all right on Wilson.
Yeah, he's throwing short. You know, knew the Rams probably be in the zone early on. They did. The linebackers drop back. Swing your back out right around there, a little circle route, just pop it into him. See how you feel throwing the football, first of all. Does have that non-displaced fracture of his index finger. You saw him holding it there just briefly.
It's his right index finger, the pointer finger, slight fracture underneath. Completed 27 of 56 last week at Pittsburgh. Most passes he's ever thrown. This one is complete. He's now 2 for 2. Irving Fryar makes the catch at the 36.
Irving Fryar had a little pick or a rub going along with Eric Sievers, number 85. Now watch, you'll see Sievers come in, and that's what really cleans off Fryar when he comes back up inside. You see Sievers just at the top of the screen. Well, you can't see him in there, but anyway, that's what happened, believe me.
Fryar comes to the bottom of the screen. First down at the 36. Wilson throws deep. Incomplete. It was intended for Hartley Dykes. He says there was interference from Leroy Irvin.
Yeah, well, that may well have been, but if you're Hartley Dykes, you got to fly down the field on the go. You got to go after the ball like you really want it.
Vienne, Villa, Babb, Douglas, and Armstrong up front. Eric Sievers is the guy who's the tight end, and he's also a wide out. He's been very impressive the last couple of weeks. John Stevens, Pro Bowler. Last year, Perryman in the backfield with him. Hartley Dykes and Irving Fryar out wide, and Cedric Jones the other wide out. It's second down and 10. And this one is almost picked off by Jerry Gray. It was intended for Fryar. Fryar slipped on the play. We'll set that defense for you. Smith, Wright, and Big Sean Miller up front. And the Rams will play a lot of linebackers. Green, Kelm, Strickland, and Wilcher. And in that secondary, it's Gray, the longtime veteran, Leroy Irvin, who's been around 10 years out of Kansas, Newsom, and Stewart. Henley and Hicks will come in dime and nickel situations, which is right now. They go to 6 defensive backs, so they're in. It's third down and 10. Wilson throws, and it's complete. To Cedric Jones, no, incomplete. They say it hit the ground.
If it did hit the ground, you can hear it and feel it. Cedric Jones in the slot. Goes down, he's out here on the sideline. He's going to run a little button hook at about 10 to 12 yards. And now let's see if that ball skips up off the turf. Boy, it's tough to see from that angle, but it looks like it is down on the ground right there.
So Jeff Feagles will come into the game now as a punter for New England, and he'll be kicking to Darrell Henley. There's a good look at Feagles. Not having one of his greater years. This is a boomer, though. High spiraling punt that turns over, and Henley goes all the way back to the 12. The wall sets up, and it gets back to the 25. But there's good coverage by the New England Patriots. A 52-yard punt by Feagles, a 13-yard return, and the tackle was made by Marv Cook. We're scoreless. The last time these two clubs played, the Patriots scored on a Hail Mary pass as time expired, November 16th. Eason was the quarterback, 1986, throws it up top, and I want you to watch number 80, Fryar, the back of the end zone. Touchdown, New England, and they go on to win it 30-28. That game also marked the debut of one Jim Everett, who is now the quarterback of the Rams.
As high as Eason threw that thing, I think it might have brought rain in Southern California.
Irving Fryar would like to do that today. That Giants score is important to the Rams. The Rams need a win today to clinch, and if the Giants lose, the Rams get home field. But right now, it's New York out in front. First down and 10 at the 25. Everett with time throws the little swing pass incomplete. Intended for Greg Bell. Bell needs just 73 yards to get 1,000 today. John Robinson's 7th straight 1,000-yard rusher if he gets it.
Well, everyone says traditionally the Rams have run the ball so well, but you know, one of the things that's happened is with the maturation of Jim Everett and his understanding of the passing game of Ernie Zambezi. Well, now you start throwing the ball because you got some threats downfield. Ellard and Flipper Anderson and even Aaron Cox and later on Ron Brown at some point. Certainly Pete Holohan, the tight end.
Second down and 10. Here he is, Bell across the 30. Midfield. Stops and cuts back inside the 30 to 28-yard line. Finally tackled by Fred Marion. But a big run by Greg Bell, the 6-year veteran out of Notre Dame. 53 yards.
Key here, though, is watch Bell on the cutback. Now, he's going to head over to his right and then break it back over to the left. Gets good blocking on that backside, and that is really the key. Pankey with a nice blocking as well as Newberry, and that springs him into the secondary. Now, had the weather been warm, I think Bell would have gone all the way. But you can see him tightening up a little bit as he's running downfield, trying to make a little move there and going back inside. Marion brings him down.
First down, they mark it at the 28. Johnny Rembert makes the tackle.
Oh, man, that time Greg just ran over Rambo.
Cleveland Gary in the game was the ball carrier.
Watch Greg Bell here. This time he's going to run over Rambo Rambert. Watch him. Number 42. Rambert's going to come up in there and just get run over. He got smoked on that play. That is Cleveland Gary, excuse me.
Second down and 7 at the 25 for the Rams. Everett swings it out to Delpino. And Delpino's run out of bounds at the 24 by Ed Reynolds. Reynolds is the leading tackler for the Patriots. Good look at Jim Everett. Boy, has he matured.
When I asked him about his maturation process, he goes, what does that mean? Typical Jim Everett.
28 touchdowns, 15 interceptions. So it's a high percentage of touchdowns over the INTs.
You can see him as he's walking to the line of scrimmage, surveying that defense. That's something young quarterbacks don't do as well as older quarterbacks. Something else he's picked up and learned.
Higgins and McSwain come in for the Patriots. 6 defensive backs. It doesn't help. The Rams complete it to Henry Ellard inside the 5.
Everyone's expecting Henry Ellard to make a patented move off, a break off of his route. This time he just runs a seam straight down the field. Everett reads it perfectly, reads into that zone, and just pops it right on into Henry Ellard.
Ellard is the Rams' leading receiver. Came into this game with 66 catches. His hamstring pull is better, but it's only 95%, he says. Not completely healthy yet. It looks like he banged up his elbow that time. First and goal at the 4. McGee and Bell in the backfield. This is Bell. It's down to the 2, and that's it.
If you're the Rams, a cold day down on the goal line, what do? I think you just keep pounding the football in there, running the ball. Don't try to get fancy throwing it in the air. That's what they did on this play. Greg Bell running the football. That offensive line gets an opportunity to tee off a little bit and push some people off the ball. You saw that block by Pankey. He's got his man all the way back in the end zone already.
Bell now has 71 yards. We told you he needs just 73 to get the 1,000. A touchdown would get it for him.
I run to that left side.
Here he is. This is Bell. No gain. Great fill by the linebackers. Rembert got there first along with Schultz.
I think it's tough when you're trying to run wide down on the goal line because the pursuit can take you all the way to the sideline. Now, that's what basically happens here with the Rams is the pursuit of the defense of the Patriots really strings the play out, and all of a sudden Greg Bell comes around the corner and he has no help. Nobody to run interference for him.
It'll bring up 3rd and goal. Power formation by the Rams. Everett the throw, does, up top, touchdown. Lamone Johnson, no, he dropped it. How did he drop that? It was right in his hands. That's what he wants to know.
And all this time I thought Roberto Duran was hands of stone, but watch this play. This pass is right into his hands. Now Jim Everett puts a nice little touch on this thing because he's down there close. He's got to feather it in there, and that's what Everett does. And Damone just simply drops that one. Started looking back before he had the ball in and didn't look it in and tuck it away.
Mike Lansford comes on for a 19-yard field goal, and the Rams are on the board. Well, Johnson had it right in his hands and drops a short touchdown.
That's good.
Oh, my. I was already marking it down.
Here's another look at it now. Watch his eyes. Watch where his head goes when he catches the football. He attempts to catch it. See, his head looked away, and he didn't look it all the way in because he's trying to make sure that he's not out of bounds. He's not out of the back of the end zone. But the first thing you got to do is catch the football. Guarantee yourself that, and then worry about being in bounds. Again, watch his head. He looks away just a second before that ball pops out.
73 yards, 19-yard field goal, and it's 3-0 Rams. Mike Lansford to kick off to George Wansley and Irving Fryer. This is Fryer. Big hole. Fryer's out across the 40. Into Ram territory at the 40-yard line. Finally run out by Jerry Gray. A 48-yard return by Irving Fryer.
I was talking to Irving Fryer yesterday, and he said, you know, he's finally starting to come back into form a little bit. He's had a lot of problems with injuries this season, and he said one of the things that's really helping him is running back kicks. And here, he takes it right up that left sideline and does a nice job of returning the ball. Now, one guy that was back there was Lansford, and that's who you saw Fryer just make that little adjustment there to try to avoid him, and now he's getting some help from Gray downfield. But you saw Lansford as the last guy down. He's going to try to run past him.
First down Patriots at the 41. Wilson has time, throws incomplete. It was intended for Cedric Jones. Fryer's also going to return punts today, first time this year. He did it only once last year.
Oh, that's interesting, too, to watch that happen as a, you know, a receiver's in the last game of the season, and a guy who's basically established himself like Fryer to be doing those kinds of things late in the season shows you that he's kind of interested in helping his team out.
We'll update that Raiders-Giants score for you. It's now 7-7. That's the longest kickoff return of Fryer's career. This is Stevens, left side. Gets around the corner and bangs his way down to the 35-yard line, knocked out by Strickland and Vince Newsom. It's been a frustrating year for John Stevens, but he needs only 58 yards to move to 10th on the Pats all-time rushing list ahead of Andy Johnson.
Yeah, but if the Patriots hope to win today, John Stevens has to have a big day for him. He's got to put some impressive numbers up. If he doesn't, the passing game of the Patriots on a cold day like this is just not going to get it done against the Rams. You have to have some real productivity out of the running backs.
Well, he has 794 yards for the year. Needs just 14 for back-to-back 1,000 yards seasons from scrimmage, total offense, but he's had a quad problem all year and then a neck injury, so he's had some problems. Third down and 5 for Wilson. Incomplete. It was intended for Eric Sievers, the tight end. Sievers should have had it.
Wilson put that one a little bit behind him, though. He had to spin around and try to catch the ball when he was going on his out route.
Wilson now 2 for 7, 16 yards. Crowd wanted him to go for it on 4th down and 5. Eagles comes on to punt. And Henley is back at the 10.
Raymond Berry. There's a lot of talk around the New England area about what's going to happen with his coaching staff. Is he going to have to hire offensive and defensive coordinators, which he doesn't have now? Is he going to be back? All those questions have to be answered in the month of January.
It's a high pooch punt that hits inside the 10 and gets a Rams bounce out to the 14. Crowd doesn't like that decision. They say, hey, you're 5 and 10, go for it. 22-yard punt. No return. It's Christmas Eve in New England, and the Rams lead it 3-0. Tim Brandt and Dan Jiggets with the Rams leading the Patriots 3-0 with 4:57 remaining in the first period. 9 plays, 73 yards was the drive that scored. But the discouraging thing for the Rams was they had 1st and goal at the 4 and only got a 19-yard field goal out of it. Sparse crowd. First down at the 14. Bell. Gets back maybe to the line of scrimmage. Ed Reynolds makes the tackle.
Reynolds was the stopper. Lost a yard on the play for Rams.
Actually lost a yard on it.
Green Bay all tied up with Dallas, and of course Green Bay in a race to try to get to the playoffs right along with the Rams and the Minnesota Vikings and everybody else.
Quite a predicament for Green Bay. Minnesota loses, Green Bay wins, they take the Central. But they have a better chance of getting in with the title than they do as a wild card. If they lose today, then the Rams are in. Everett throws this one incomplete. Good coverage on Johnson by Fred Marion. It'll bring up 3rd down and 11.
Lamone Johnson that time was screaming to the officials that he felt he was interfered with, but you know, when you come across the middle like that and you're trying to reach up for that pass, you got to be aggressive about going after it, particularly on a day like this, because you're not going to get an easy call. You can't tell me that the cold weather's not affecting him. He had a touchdown pass all by himself in the end zone and dropped it. 6 defensive backs now for the Patriots. McSwain comes in along with Howard Figgins. Down at 11. Everett rolls right, throws back. Intercepted. Maurice Hurst makes the interception.
Interception for the Patriots.
4th round draft pick out of Southern. His 5th interception of the year. Hurst is number 37. He's on the right-hand side of your screen. Just went out of view. Now what happens is Everett rolls off to his right and tries to throw some comebacks. He's got 2 comebacks going. And unfortunately for him, Hurst steps in front of this one. Now, Hurst is a rookie. Everybody said that, well, he's going to really be tested today because of those Rams receivers. But when we talked to him yesterday, he didn't seem too scared about the whole situation. He recognized their speed. But he says, hey, I've been tested this season so far. Everett's thrown 2 interceptions today. First down at the 25. Perriman bangs off the right side inside the 20 to the 19. You know, to go back to Hurst, Maurice Hurst, they call him Elmer. And the reason why is because they say he has such great hands. It's like he has glue hands. So it's Elmer's glue, you know. And you saw that on that interception. That's a tough ball to break on. And he did it and made the interception for the Patriots. He leads the Patriots in interceptions. That was his 5th. He says sometimes he guesses and gets beaten. Everett said we're going to make him bite. So far, Everett's thrown 2 INTs. It's 2nd down and 4. Stevens, nice cut inside to the 10-yard line. Fred Strickland finally trips him up. Everybody's been saying that John Stevens really hasn't run well since he ran into Fuller from the 49ers earlier this season. It really had an effect on him, a deleterious effect. Now you see him coming out on that right side. He's cutting in there. He's looking pretty good, looking very comfortable as he's running the ball today. First down, Patriots at the 11. Stevens has nowhere to run this time and nowhere to hide. Kelm got there first along with Owens and Strickland and Wiltshire and a whole host of Rams. Well, Sean Smith looked like he wanted to go for the ride for a little bit. You know, he just got here to the Rams number 97 there, and he just stayed on him for about 2 or 3 seconds longer than he probably should have. Then, you know, you got to, first impression's the lasting one, so you want to make sure that coach knows you're doing your job. Loss of 3. It'll be 2nd down and 13 at the 14-yard line. That front of the Rams is thin. Mike Peel hurt his elbow last week, so the Rams don't have many folks up front. Intercepted by the Rams. It's Strickland across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Well, just like that, L.A. gets it back. A 30-yard return by Strickland. Well, I tell you what, there were so many Rams back there. I think they had to draw straws to decide who was going to intercept this ball. You see Strickland, number 53, right down there. Now, the ball is tipped back to him right there. He picks it off and says, hey, look what I found. Takes off and runs down that right sideline. Watch again, Mark Wilson just tries to throw a ball dead into coverage. It's tipped by Leroy Irving. Irving tips it to Strickland. Strickland takes it off Hartley Dykes back and takes off with it. 1:53 remaining first period. It's 3-0 Rams. And L.A. has a first down at the 32. Bell, big hole, cuts outside to the 46-yard line.
Number 94, David Ward.
That big offensive line for the Rams is really giving Bell some good blocking up front today. A gain of 14, and Bell's now over 1,000. I think he just waved to you and said, thanks, Tim, for mentioning that. That's the 7th straight year Robinson has had a runner go over 1,000. He's not going to stop there. Breaks a couple of tackles and twists and turns and spins his way out
to the 48.
You know, coming into today, the Rams wanted to put the ball up top early, as we said in the open, and get the ball downfield to Anderson and Holohan and Ellert and those guys, and get it into the end zone quick and take the life out of this Patriots team. But when you get in a cold weather situation, maybe something the Rams are trying to learn is how to run the football, because when you get in these bad weather situations, that's what you really have to rely on, is your running game.
The ball's loose. Everett got it back. Jim Everett was telling us yesterday that if this defense of New England gets down on itself, you score early on them, look out. But don't let them get going, because then it can really get excited.
Well, sure. You know, everybody on the Patriots defense knows that they've got a mission right now, because they all want to be back. They all want to be employed next year. So everybody that thinks that somebody's going to lie down and take it easy because it's the last game of the regular season is not really all with it. These guys understand the fact that, you know, they're going to be evaluated at the end of the season, just like the coaching staff is and the whole organization. So you have to keep going at it.
Defense ranks 22nd in the league in total defense as the first quarter winds down.
It'll be the end of the first quarter here at Solid Stadium.
The end of the first period. It's 3-0 Rams. Well, the Rams held the ball 10.5 minutes. And that guy right there is waiting to get into the ball game.
Chances are he has a spot out there today, as cold as it is.
3-0 L.A. 87 yards rushing for the Rams, but 2 interceptions that Everett's thrown. Loss of 3 on the last play, so it's 3rd down and 9 to start the second period, and this one's complete. Flipper Anderson runs out of bounds at the 40-yard line, or just near the 40. And it'll be a first down for the Rams. There's the time of possession we were telling you about. The Rams held the ball 10.5 minutes in that first 15.
Well, New England's gotten the ball a couple of times on turnovers, but they really haven't been able to do anything with it. Rams had that opening drive that was a very key one for them, but Everett threw the interception down near the goal line.
First down, they go with Bell, and Bell's hit immediately. Breaks a tackle and gains a yard out of it, but Rembert got there first.
Yeah, but he didn't wrap him up, and I'm sure that Rembert's thinking about that right now, saying, hey, gee, I wish I'd gotten my arms around him, because I'd have gotten credit for the stop. That way he just got in his way, and Bell just kind of tripped forward a little bit.
Reynolds finally made the tackle. Well, there's the weather in Los Angeles. 85 degrees expected high today. New England, it's 21. Wind chill factor is 0. But those folks in L.A. don't know what they're missing. People pay a lot of money for this kind of weather when they go skiing. And Christmas time, white Christmas in New England. This ball is poorly thrown in the direction of Henry Ellert.
Well, Ellert never turned around. He was still running his route when Everett ducked it off. Everett was under a little bit of pressure, but not enough to make him force the ball in like that. Ellert came in motion and went back out on a little yo-yo move, and Jim just tossed the ball out to him. Watch here, you see Ellert, number 80, going in motion there now. Everett unloads the ball, and Ellert has never turned around to look for it. Now the question is, was it going to Holohan downfield or Ellert, but they're both in the same area.
Everett now 5 for 11, 60 yards, 2 interceptions. 6 defensive backs by New England on 3rd down and 10 for the Rams. They're going up top. It's thrown in the direction of Ellert. Incomplete. Good coverage by Rod McSwain.
You know, just a time when you think you're going to cause a real problem for a secondary, you know, they kind of rise to the occasion as well. And this time, McSwain hadn't been playing all that much this season, but you watch him hanging right with Ellert down the sideline. Good coverage. Just kind of works into that receiver. You saw him working to Ellert, pushing to the sideline all the time, looking back for the ball.
Dale Hatcher is the Rams punter, and Urban Fryer is deep for New England. This ball hits at the 5 and goes into the end zone for a touchback. A 40-yard punt, no return. And the New England defense is held again. 13:57 remaining in the half. It's still 3-0 Rams. The Rams Rams have dominated total yardage, the only scoring thus far by McLansford with a 19-yard field goal after LA had first and goal at the 4. 2 interceptions thrown by Everett, and it's 3-0 Rams. Now, Wilson, who was trying to go with a broken index finger, now comes out of the ball game. He missed his last 6 passes. He was only 2 for 8, and now Grogan comes in.
Well, Raymond Berry tells he really doesn't see any difference between the 2 quarterbacks. He feels that they're both on par with one another. So apparently Wilson is not really capable of throwing the ball as well as he'd like to with that broken finger. So Steve Grogan comes in.
All right, so Wilson leaves 2 for 8, 16 yards. And 1 interception.
We are informed that there's no injury to Mark Wilson. They just want to give Steve Grogan an opportunity to come in and throw the football a little bit. So the old veteran gets to line it up one more time.
Grogan, a 15-year veteran out of Kansas State. 8 touchdowns, 12 interceptions this year. He's hit on 50% of his passes, and he's been sacked 7 times. First down at the 20. This ball's on the ground.
Well, it seems to me that if I were the Patriots, I'd have practiced that center quarterback exchange a couple of times on the sideline before I let Grogan come in.
Grogan made the recovery. You see the Giants-Raiders score. Still tied at 7 in the second period.
Green Bay and Dallas still tied. New Orleans over Indianapolis 3-7.
You know, that Raiders touchdown came on a 1-yard pass. They've seen those Giants goal line stands, so they just threw it. Boy, has Detroit ever finished strongly. Second down and 12, the ball at the 18. Grogan on the reverse. This is Fryer. Nice cut inside, and Fryer takes it all the way out to the 28. Finally stopped by Leroy Irvin.
Key thing there, though, for the Patriots was the ball handling by Grogan. That really fools the defense because you watch that defensive reaction. They can't really tell where the ball's going until Irvin Fryer's got it in his hands. Now, there's one tackler there. He blows past him. He blows past Wilcher, and he's downfield for a nice run. Key there, though, being that Grogan hit that ball so well and really disguised the play.
Second run of the year for Fryer. He's had big yardage on both of them. It'll bring up 3rd down and 1. The ball now marked at the 29. Grogan throws complete to Dykes. Dykes has the first down. Jerry Gray makes the stop.
That play makes a lot of sense, though. If you got a big receiver like Hartley Dykes, just throw that quick hitch pass out to him, let him catch the ball, and try to run over a defensive back. Kid's 6'4" and about 220 or so why not try it?
He's now caught a pass in 11 straight games. He's got a pretty good streak going. He had 10 catches last week. He's only started the last 5 games. He's had 10 first downs and 11 receptions. Straight ahead for about 4.
You know, it's interesting to watch the difference in the rhythm of the offense for the Patriots now that Grogan is in there. Quite naturally, Grogan's going to call all his own plays.
Stevens just barreled ahead. Was tackled by Sean Smith.
He was calling the plays for the Patriots. Flutie is signaling the plays in right now, but Grogan called all the plays here for the Patriots for a number of years. Of course, he was a starting quarterback, and when he wasn't, they had Tony Eason here. They allowed him to do it, but there's Doug Flutie. Talked to him down on the field today. He says it's been rather disappointing this season. His numbers have been disappointing, certainly.
You know what's interesting is about Raymond Berry calls whether it's a pass or run. Then the offensive coordinator decides what play they're going to run. This play's a good one. Perryman bangs his way out close to the 45-yard line. Should be enough for a first down for New England. I say offensive coordinator. There really isn't an offensive coordinator. It's Raymond Berry, but he decides whether it's a run or a pass. Then Bobby Greer, if it's a run play, makes the call for a run, or Richard Wood makes it if it's a pass play, and then it's signaled in by Flutie.
And really, when you think about it, Grogan, this year they offered him the quarterback coaching job here, and he turned it down to play another season, and certainly he's got to be entered into that mix.
That's an offense by committee.
Yeah.
Grogan on first down, gets to Stevens. Stevens still on his feet at the 48-yard line. Mel Owens stood him up.
Raymond Berry looks somewhat detached from that whole situation, but he's really on top of the offensive side of things. Richard Wood is the pass play guy. He's over on Cooley's left, I believe.
Raiders have jumped on top of the Giants 14-7. Berline to Fernandez, 30-yard strike. Second down and 6 for the Patriots. Grogan fires, incomplete. It was intended for Dykes, but it was excellent coverage by the left cornerback, Jerry Gray.
Yeah, now the key here is watch Gray break on the ball. Number 25, he's working against Hartley Dykes up the top. Now watch him break on the ball. As soon as the ball's popped in there, Gray is in there in a flash. That's how come he's going to the Pro Bowl, because this time he just kind of disrupts the vision of the receiver and gets it just on that elbow, just enough to knock it out of Hartley Dykes' hands.
Good look at Gray, 6 foot 185, 5-year veteran out of Texas. Third down and 6. Grogan goes to the shotgun. Rams are in a nickel defense. Grogan has time and throws over the head of Eric Sievers. Incomplete. Grogan looks very stiff.
I think if you've been sitting on that sideline, anybody's going to be stiff, but that's how come I'm surprised they didn't do more in terms of warming him up. I was watching over there on the sideline and really didn't see him warm up at all before he came in.
Grogan now 1 for 3, a total of 4 yards as you look at Jeff Beagles. His last punt, 52-yarder, and he's kicking to Darrell Henley and Leroy Irvin. Good snap. This kick is not pretty, but it's effective. And Irvin is hit almost immediately. A 35-yard punt, 6-yard return, and still 3-0 Rams. Cleveland Cavaliers battle the Atlanta Hawks live from the Omni in Atlanta. All here tomorrow on CBS. First down for Everett. He throws it out to Flipper Anderson. Anderson runs out at the 30-yard line by Maurice Hurst. Hey, Dan, you know how Anderson got his nickname Flipper?
No, tell me. I'm setting you up. Go ahead.
Well, his grandma Pearl, when he was a baby, said he used to cry like a dolphin, so she named him Flipper. Said he sounded like a dolphin when he cried. True story. Just call her. She'll tell you. Second down and 3 at the 31. Flipper will tell you. Nice cutback by Bell, and then he carries tacklers across the 40 to the 42-yard line. First down Rams.
Oh, but I like what he did when he came through. You know, Marion and James came up on the tackle, but watch Bell. A little high step in there when he hit the line of scrimmage. That's what you like to see. He knows his big guys up front doing some nice blocking for him right there. Gets another nice block from McGee. Now watch his high stepping right there. Little fake to try to throw the defensive backs off. Also, you look kind of good when you do that.
Tell you what, he's looked pretty good all day. 10 yards on that one. Bell now 12 carries, 97 yards. Everett to throw on first down. Does. Has a man, and it's complete to Eller. At the 34-yard line. He was working on Fred Marion, the free safety.
Yeah, and he had to have great concentration to catch that, too, because he could see Marion coming, number 31. He can see him coming when he's closing in on the ball. Now, Eller just keeps his eyes on that ball and catches, makes a nice reception, and Marion comes right up over the top. Another little look at it here. Everett downfield to Henry Eller. Comes back to the ball a little bit, works himself back in, and makes a beautiful reception. Good concentration.
A gain of 25. First down at the 34. Bell. Hit at the line of scrimmage, struggles ahead for 1. Great defensive play by David Ward, who came across and wouldn't let him go. If you're just joining us, let's reset the scene for you. This is what has to happen for the Rams to get into the playoffs. If they win today, they're in. If they lose, then either Green Bay or Minnesota has to lose. Minnesota playing tomorrow night against Cincinnati. Green Bay playing today
And they're all
at
tied
Dallas.
They're all tied up with Dallas right now, 3 apiece.
Second down and 10. Said Green Blay. I'm telling you, my tongue is frozen. Everett throws back. It's Johnson, and he's hit immediately.
Little screen back to the tight end. At that time, I saw Jackie Slater and Tom Newberry out there talking to each other because neither one of them blocked the cornerback coming in.
You can't fool an old veteran like Raymond Claiborne.
He says he's not ready to retire yet. Everybody's saying, well, you know, this Ray's last year, 13 years in the National Football League. Claiborne says, hey, look, I want to make him run me off. I'm going to stick around.
He says he doesn't talk as much out on the field as he used to. He's matured a lot. But he said he can still play.
Yeah, he says he saves that energy for running after those wide receivers.
6 defensive backs now for New England. It's 3rd down and 9. Everett looks deep. Incomplete, intended for Aaron Cox, but broken up by Hurst.
Well, I tell you what, if Maurice Hurst is the guy that the Rams decided to pick on today, they picked the wrong fella. Great coverage once again downfield, this time on Aaron Cox. Reaches up, slaps the ball away. And I thought he had possession of it a little bit longer than he did, because if he had just been able to scoop that ball down, up a little bit, he had an interception again. That would be number 2.
Lansford on to attempt a 50-yard field goal. He's already hit from 19. He's not even close. Lansford does not wear a shoe, and I guarantee you that foot is cold.
He told me, he said earlier today down in the field, he says, you know, you can only kick one time with it, and then you got to get it warmed up again.
Kicking with a shoe on is like picking up a dime with gloves, he says.
You know, every year there are people who are left off the Pro Bowl list that you always feel deserve to go. And here's my list of guys who are not going to go to Hawaii, but I think should have a trip. Everett, Monk, you saw that, the receivers there. And then look at the offensive line. Lachey, can you believe he's not going? Harris Barton, Lomas Brown, some good players in there. We'll get to the defense a little bit later.
Lachey didn't give up a sack all year. New England's 4 possessions, 3 punts, and an interception. This is Grogan has this one knocked down. Wilson and Grogan both have been ineffective.
Special teams in that all-jiggers team now. Deion Sanders from Atlanta. I picked him because he can run back punts, kickoffs, and he could make the all-goal Mr. T starter kit team, so he could get us some deals on goal as well. Mike Lansford, the Rams, the kicker. George Seifert, San Francisco, as the coach.
That's the heater down on the field.
Won't need one of those in Hawaii.
Rams ordered a couple of those for this game.
That looks like a jet engine.
2nd down and 10, the ball at the 33 for New England. 3-step drop, Grogan pumps and loses it. He gets it back. His hands are cold. He went to pump, and the ball just came right out. That really should have been an incompleted pass.
Yeah, but you saw. Now let's watch it on the replay, though, to see if that hand is coming forward here. He had trouble getting the snap, first of all. Now he's going to try a pump fake right there, and that ball just comes right out. And you're right, that is an incompleted pass. His hand was coming forward.
That's a loss of 8. It'll be 3rd and 18, and I can't understand why that's not an incompleted pass.
Yeah, the arm motion is definitely coming forward.
Who's to say that he's not faking it?
Well, they're taking a peek at it now upstairs.
Well, if they do take a peek, they ought to move it back to the line of scrimmage. That's an incompleted pass.
Once again, now watch Grogan. If his arm comes forward and that ball comes out, it's an incompleted pass. Whether he throws it 1 yard or 30 yards, same difference. There it is. Pops right out there.
Royal Cathcart, the replay official today.
With a name like Royal, you better stay up there in the replay booth.
Don't forget, coming up at halftime, Brent and Herb will have all the scores and highlights and the latest information on the playoff situation for you. And Brent will talk to Bud Carson.
We have a reversal. Pass is ruled incomplete. Back to the previous spot. 3rd down.
Well, Howard Rowe, the referee, makes the call after Mr. Cathcart took a look at it, and that is the correct call. It should have been ruled that way in the beginning.
We knew it all the time.
So it'll be 3rd down and 10. Grogan has problems. Throws to the outside. It's complete. But it's only a gain of 3. Robert Perryman made the catch, but they needed a whole lot more. Nice defense by Vince Newsom.
There was a flag back in the backfield of the Patriots.
And it's going to be roughing the passer against the Rams.
Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness. Number 57 on the defense. Hands to the face of the quarterback. First down.
That's George Bethune, number 57.
Let's see old George back there working against Steve Grogan now. This has got to be something that is really drastic, I would think, in order to get the 15-yarder. There's Bethune right there, and he just kind of hits him up in the face. I don't know what else you expect a defensive lineman to do or a linebacker to do. That's a cheap call as far as I'm concerned.
It's a big call, though, because it gives the Patriots new life in Ram territory. First down at the 48. Perriman straight ahead, gains 3. Sullivan Stadium, Foxborough, Massachusetts. Tim Brandt along with Big Dan Jiggins. 4:47 remaining in the first half. The Rams lead the Patriots 3-0. Scoring drive by LA went 9 plays, 73 yards first quarter. It was 1st and goal at the 4, and this play appeared to be a touchdown. But I want you to watch the tight end Johnson as he turns away and drops the ball. And they had to settle for a 19-yard field goal by Lansford, and that's where we are. 3-0 LA. 2nd and 7 for Grogan. He goes deep. Incomplete. Throwing in the direction of Irving Fryer.
Jerry Gray there on the coverage, and once again, excellent coverage by the all-pro cornerback. Hardly Dykes is going to have to go to the store and buy a catch, I think, if he wants to get one, or even Irving Fryer working against Jerry Gray. He's had both of them over there today and has done an excellent job. That time, once again, the arm flies up and just tips the ball out of Irving Fryer's hands.
If you're just joining us, New England in 4 possessions had 3 punts and an interception. Wilson and Grogan both were ineffective. Grogan, now the quarterback, 2 for 7, 7 yards. Wilson on the sidelines. He has a broken index finger that he brought into this game, and he's 2 for 8. 6 defensive backs now for the Rams. Henley and Jackson come in. It's 3rd down and 7 for the Patriots. Grogan fires this one and has the completion. Hartley Dykes makes the catch at the 28, and that ball was thrown with authority.
Thrown with authority and to a big wide receiver. You know, when you're 6'4", you cut in front of those little cornerbacks like Hartley Dykes does here. He's going to come around number 88, and watch him just come right in front of the cornerback, jump up in the air. Again, he has that great leaping ability. That's what gets the ball to him.
Gain of 17, 1st down at the 28.
Didn't have a great start to the season, but has really come on strong for the Patriots of late. Hartley Dykes.
He had 10 catches last week, 2 today. Stevens, right side for 2. And I mean 2 tough yards. Kevin Green made the tackle.
The captain is in the Army during the offseason.
Stevens picks up 2.
Philadelphia leading Phoenix 14-7. Giants and the Raiders all tied up in New York. Dallas and Green Bay still tied 2nd quarter.
Now, if Green Bay loses that game, it doesn't matter what happens here this afternoon. The Rams are in. Raiders and Giants now tied at 14. O.J. Anderson with a 1-yard run. 2nd down and 9 for Grogan. Has all day to throw, and it's incomplete. It was thrown at Fryer, and he wants a penalty against Vince Newsom.
Yeah, but Vince Newsom timed it up pretty good. He came there just as the ball arrived to Irving Fryer and tipped it out. Good defensive coverage in the secondary of the Rams. Another look at it from ground level. Irving Fryer, number 80, working downfield. Now watch Newsom coming in. He really gets in there just when that ball gets in and sticks that hand in there.
Oh, I don't know about that. He was riding him pretty good.
Yeah, but he's looking for the ball.
3rd down and 9 for Grogan. Has the completion. Cedric Jones to the 9-yard line. And Merrill Douglas, the side judge, was nailed.
Yeah, Merrill got into the action that time. Better get a chin strap when that happened, Merrill.
A gain of 18. And Merrill Douglas paid the price.
Yeah, the key thing is watch the back judge, number 102.
That's the side judge. Watch him.
He's going to get taken out on this one. Oh, it's a nice reception anyway by the Patriots.
Merrill Douglas, the side judge, was level.
2 minutes. Notification.
We've got the 2-minute warning. The Patriots are threatening. 1st and goal at the 9. They trail by 3. This will be the 10th play of the New England drive coming up. Started on their own 33. They've held the ball over 4 minutes. Grogan's got them moving. 2 minutes to go in the half. Fryer in motion. Good protection, intercepted. Strickland with the interception to the 32-yard line. It was intended for Fryer, and Fred Strickland stayed right in front and made the interception, a return of 27 yards.
You know, the play was almost a mirror of the last interception that Strickland got, except this time he didn't have to rely on a tip. He just sits back there. Again, he's going to drop back into his area, number 53, Strickland. Watch him play back there, sitting back in that zone, eyeballing the quarterback, and just reacts to the ball. He never looks for the receiver, simply reacts to where the quarterback is looking, steps in and makes a beautiful interception on Grogan.
That's a poorly thrown pass. It's Strickland's 2nd interception of the afternoon. It's 1st down, Rams at the 32. Big defensive play by Los Angeles. Everett's not going to waste any time. Throws this one in the direction of Henry Ellard. Incomplete. Rod McSwain was the defensive back.
2nd down and 10 at the 32.
Coming up next at the conclusion of our game, NFL doubleheader coverage continues with a rematch of last year's NFC Championship game, Chicago and the 49ers. That's coming up next, and when they scheduled that game at the beginning of the year, they thought that would be big. Still will be fun to watch. 2nd down and 10 at the 32. Everett, the Holohan.
Pete Holohan didn't like the treatment he was getting when he's down there on the AstroTurf and kind of reacted to it that time. Got a little edge on him. He came into this game. He's an aggressive kind of a guy out of the University of Notre Dame.
Beach guy, likes the beach.
Yeah, likes to play volleyball.
Like everybody in the stadium likes to be at the beach today.
Yeah, he's playing volleyball this time down on the AstroTurf, because watch him here. He's going to get a little upset with those defensive backs down here, the Patriots. He just didn't appreciate that too much. He goes after Roland James there.
Holohan now has 51 catches for the year. He's the 2nd leading receiver for the Rams. Averages 10 yards a catch. 3rd down and 4. Everett has plenty of time. And this one's broken up nicely.
You know, the one thing you notice there, Tim, though, is when Everett dropped back, he had to hot step it a little bit. You know, usually he's on a timing pattern. When he drops back, as soon as that back foot hits, he plants and throws the ball.
You talk about timing. Hurst timed that one perfectly and knocked it away at the last second from Ellard. So Hatcher to punt to Irving Fryer. This will be Fryer's 2nd attempt of the year at a punt return position. First one, he really didn't have a shot. It was a touchback, went through the end zone. And he won't have a chance at this one either. It goes out of bounds at the 14. A 48-yard punt and no return. 47 seconds remain in the half. Coming up tomorrow, the NBA continues on CBS. The Cleveland Cavaliers against the Atlanta Hawks. Live 3:30 Eastern Time, 12:30 Pacific. The NBA on CBS.
Well, just just handed a note from that Philadelphia game. Roger Ruzak on a fake field goal threw a touchdown, 22-yard touchdown pass to Chris Carter, and right now Eagles lead the Phoenix Cardinals 14-7.
You know who the holder was on that field goal attempt?
Matt Cavanaugh. You'd think that maybe he'd throw the touchdown pass.
Well, I can't fool you. First down, Grogan. Intercepted. This is Gray. This is a touchdown for the Rams.
Touchdown for the Rams.
Return by Jerry Gray.
Then there are a flock of Rams over there when Grogan throws this ball into coverage, it's triple coverage over there, and Jerry Gray just does a nice job of stepping right in front of that thing, taking it away from the receiver and taking it on in for the touchdown. What an outstanding cornerback for the Rams.
Boy, the Patriots have played so well to keep the score at 3. That's a big play for the Rams who need this win today to clinch the wild card.
You saw him just wave off the cape. He says, no, I'm hot now. Just let me stay hot. Don't want to put that cape on and let something bad happen to me here.
His 6th interception of the year. Reminder coming up at halftime, Brent and Irv in that warm studio down in New York with all the scores, highlights, and latest information, along with an interview with Bud Carson.
That's not Brent's foot, is it? No, that's the foot of Mike Lansford, the kicker for the Rams. I'm sure there are a lot of people in Southern California that are wondering if he checked the weather report before he came out here.
Lansford took that shoe off yesterday at practice to go out and kick a field goal. He came back out, we grabbed it and hit it from him.
You did. I told him you did it, too.
And he didn't like it a whole lot.
No, he didn't appreciate that.
It's 9-0 Rams. Lansford trying to make it 10. And he does. You know, that's got to hurt.
40 seconds remaining.
Well, those kickers that kick without a shoe say they build up a callus on their feet, so they're able to, you know, really don't feel it as much. But you can watch him, pull up his toes when he's walking on that AstroTurf.
Well, what's the first thing he said yesterday when he came off the field? That hurts. 40 seconds remain in the half. The Rams now have jumped out to a 10-0 lead. Patriots defense has played quite well. The offense has been shaky. 3 interceptions by New England. 2 by Grogan, 1 by Wilson.
Giants and the Raiders still all tied up. Green Bay's gone ahead of Dallas 10-3 in the second quarter.
Well, the Rams would be wise just to win this game and not worry about help from Green Bay or Minnesota.
You don't want to have to rely on anybody else to do your work for you. You take care of what you've got to take care of and get in that way. That's the best way to do it.
More importantly, they're concerned with the Giants game because the Rams feel they'll win here today, and if the Giants lose, then the Rams get home field.
Detroit certainly has done a great job of coming back this season. At the end of the season, they're probably one of the stronger teams in the NFC Central.
I tell you what, the 2 coaches, now your coach of the year would be who?
Well, I'd pick George Seifert, but I think if you look at turning around a situation, there's 2 coaches that really did it. First one is Joe Gibbs down in Washington. You look at what they've done the second half of the season. And the second one is Wayne Fontes at Detroit. Done a tremendous job with that club.
I agree with both of those. Fontes really turned things around with a young team. And then Gibbs had all of his all-pros get hurt and came in with all young players. They dropped the age of the team 3 years. That average age of the Redskins now is only 25, and they won, what, the last 6 games? Lansford will be kicking off for the Rams. Number 35, George Wansley. Number 80, Irving Pryor are deep. This is taken by the up man, Lynn Dawson, the tight end, to the 36-yard line. And with 35 seconds remaining, it'll be first down and 10 at the 36. Grogan comes back out, and they boo him.
So the Patriots will have the ball, first down and 10. They'll put the ball in play for 37-yard line, 35 seconds.
So we asked ourselves at the beginning of the telecast whether the Patriots play for. We said pride, and certainly the understanding that they have to come back next season. And as we mentioned before, Raymond Berry says, hey, I want you back here on the 26th for a team meeting.
Think we'll see Doug Flutie today?
I talked to him early in the game, and before the game started, he said no, he didn't think he was going to get a chance to play.
Brogan throws this one complete to Dykes, and Dykes is down to the 44-yard line. Tackle made by Vince Newsom.
First down for the Patriots.
And New England takes a timeout.
In July 1988, some said it was luck. In February 1989, some said it was a fluke. In April 1989, some said it was coincidence. In November 1989, some said, get me their phone number. Prudential Bates Securities, rock solid, market wise.
Gain of 19 on that last play. 29 seconds remain in the half. It's 10-0 Rams, and this game is important to the Rams. The Giants are losing, which means if it stays that way, the Rams will have home field for the playoffs.
And the Raiders still have a shot.
Dykes now 3 catches and 40 yards. First down, New England at the 44. Brogan has pressure, and he'll be sacked. Kevin Green now has 16.5 sacks for the year. He is the sack leader for the Rams. He comes through untouched and takes Brogan down.
Yeah, Kevin Green, number 91, you're going to see him coming from the left-hand side of your screen. Just a straight power rush there. Never really got touched because he never got blocked. You like those kinds of sacks. That's how come Kevin Green's going to the Pro Bowl.
2nd and 19. This ball is nearly intercepted by Leroy Irvin. It was thrown in the direction of Dykes and badly overthrown. So it'll bring up 3rd down and 19.
You mentioned that the Raiders earlier had a shot at the playoffs. They can get a wild card shot if they win and Indianapolis loses. So that game in New York is a very important game for the Los Angeles Raiders. And Indianapolis right now is losing to New Orleans by a score of 10-6 in the second quarter.
Talking about coaches, not a bad job by Shell out there with the Raiders either.
He's done a tremendous job. He really has.
8 seconds remain. Brogan out of the shotgun. Throws deep, has the completion. 1 second remaining on the clock. Dykes gets out of bounds. No. The clock continues to move. And that should end the half. Well, now one official says he was out of bounds.
And the Patriots have 2 timeouts left.
Yeah, but the clock has gone to 0. So they're either going to have to put another second on the clock or call it a half. Looks like they're going to put another second on it.
If you're the receiver going downfield and you recognize that situation, get out of bounds.
He tried and he did it.
Well, you can call your timeout going out.
They're going to put 1 second back on the clock. Jason Starowski will come on. And it'll be a 45-yard attempt by Starowski. He's 12 of 14 this year. His longest is 50 yards. This is from 45. It has the distance. It's good. There's a flag. So Starowski, who was halfway to the locker room, may have to come back. No, he won't.
Holding on the defense. Number 99. Penalty refused. Field goal's good. Pass down.
So that's the end of the first half with the score. The Rams 10, the Patriots 3.
And Irv, the Philadelphia, I almost said Phillies, the Philadelphia Eagles have an opportunity to have the merriest of Christmases because they lead the Phoenix Cardinals. The score on that one is 14-7. No alcohol being sold at the vet. Everyone was searched prior to the start of the game. That's because of that incident over there a couple weeks ago. Randall Cunningham rolling right and going for a 15-yard touchdown. Now, who in the world framed Roger Ruzak here?
Really a clever play. The Eagles are always looking for an edge wherever they can find it. Here they line up for an apparent field goal attempt. The ball snapped directly to Ruzak, number 7, and he lofts a beautiful pass at Chris Carter, and he rambles in 22 yards for the touchdown.
Now, of course, for the Eagles to win the division championship, they must win this game and get help from the Los Angeles Raiders. And right now they are 17-14, Raiders with the lead. The Rams are in if they win, and they are beating the Patriots, as you know, 10-3 right now at the half. Green Bay and Dallas. Packers win a division if they beat the Cowboys and if Cincinnati beats Minnesota tomorrow night. Now let's take a look at Don Mikowski, and he gets hit by Jim Jeffcoat. And what a lucky break here for the Packers as the ball goes out of bounds and they maintain possession. Troy Aikman with a bad decision here.
He's having a pretty good half here, but this is one pass that got away from him. Johnny Holland picks it off at 6-yard line and rambles up 26 yards, setting up a scoring opportunity for the Packers. They take advantage of it right away. Jeff Query, 14-yard touchdown.
You know, he's had a pretty good season for the Packers.
Yeah, from a small school, too.
You bet. Milliken down in Decatur, Illinois. So it is 10-3 at half. Indianapolis and New Orleans. Colts are in if they win, but the Saints are beating them at the half 10-6. Kansas City, Miami. These two teams still have a chance, but they need help along the way. Loser is out. So it's 21-14, Chiefs with the lead. Tampa Bay and Pittsburgh, and just moments ago, the Steelers punched in their third touchdown, and they still have a chance, but they need help. They lead Tampa Bay 21-10. Detroit and Atlanta, 14-3. If this holds up, the Falcons would have the #1 choice in the draft. Boy, Barry Sanders is something else.
Boy, he goes off tackle here on a draw play, 25 yards. Benny, the first half he had unofficially, I have her 9 carries, 63 yards. He's vying for the rushing title in the entire National Football League.
They may win a division title or at least a wild card next year. And we're going to pause, and we'll be back right after these messages from your local stations.
Halftime at Sullivan Stadium. It's 10-3, the Rams. It's been an interesting first half in that the New England Patriots have played extremely well defensively, but the quarterbacks have struggled. Wilson started, broken finger, and he really did not do anything well. And then all of a sudden, Grogan comes in. He throws 2 interceptions.
Yeah, well, the Rams defense gets a lot of credit for that. I think that they've been playing very actively. Fred Strickland, 2 interceptions, has done a great job for the Rams defense, and they've been putting some pressure on the Patriots quarterbacks.
This game could be worse. The Rams were inside the 10. As a matter of fact, they had 1st and goal at the 4. They squandered an opportunity right here. Here's the pass to Johnson, the tight end.
Damone Johnson in the end zone, just takes his eye off the ball just a little bit here on the pass from Jim Everett. Now watch his head as he looks away because he thinks he has that ball tucked away, but you got to look it all the way in.
They had to settle for a 19-yard field goal by Lansford, but then they came back. Grogan really got his team in some trouble here when Gray picked one off and took it back in.
Jerry Gray playing it kind of soft back there in that zone. You see him floating back. Now he's going to come up and just walk right in here. Now there was a flock of Rams around there. There was about 3 or 4 of them, and then Gray just kind of steps in and picks it off and runs it back in very nicely.
Statistically, let's take a look. This will bring you up to date and really tell you how this game has gone, because the Rams, 108 yards rushing, just 46 for the Patriots.
Yeah, and the guy there has been Greg Bell for the Rams. He's just been running the ball very well for the Rams today. And now Jim Everett's had some opportunities to get the ball in the end zone, but has thrown some key interceptions.
And the Rams have a slight advantage in the passing game. Turnovers, that has definitely been a key. New England with 3 interceptions.
And the quarterbacks have been going back and forth, as we mentioned, with interceptions. And one of the things that you always look for is how well they're going downfield. And certainly between Wilson and Grogan, you see those numbers there for the New England quarterbacks.
But the bottom line is it's still a close ball game. It's 10-3 Rams. Our coverage will continue after this message and a word from your local station. 1989. And the Rams lead the Patriots 10-3. Rams win today, they're in the playoffs. If they lose, they need help. Green Bay has to lose to Dallas this afternoon. And right now, Green Bay leads, or Minnesota has to lose to Cincinnati tomorrow night. But the easiest scenario would be the Rams winning here, and that would be it. They'd be in. They're keeping a close eye on the Giants game, because if the Rams win and the Giants lose, and the Rams get home field.
Right now, the Raiders are tied up with the Giants at the half, 17 apiece.
You know, I don't care how much you get used to it as a barefooted kicker. It's 20 degrees in New England. Wind chill about 0, and he doesn't have anything on it.
You just can't get used to that, can you? You're too warm weather, Tim. It's nice out here.
Well, it's about 3 shades more red now than it was at the beginning of the game, I can tell you that. Wansley with a big hole and blasts it out across midfield. George Wansley. made by Bobby Del Pino. A 40-yard return by Wansley.
You know, when you come right out of the locker room to begin the second half in this cold weather situation like it is, you got to make sure that you're warmed up and ready to go and aggressive. In this case, the Rams coverage team is just not aggressive getting downfield. You saw a lot of people standing around and getting blocked out of the picture.
The scoring today came from a 19-yard field goal by Lansford for the Rams. Then Gray with an interception and a return for a touchdown. And then Jason Starowski of New England hit a 50-yarder just before the half ended. It's 10-3. Rams just underway, second half. Tim Grant and Dan Jacobs with you. The numbers on Grogan. This is Stevens. Tiptoes back to the line of scrimmage, gains a yard.
I said early in the game that I felt that Stevens had to have a big game if the Patriots are going to be successful today. And so far, he really has. Philadelphia up over Phoenix right now. It's that Raiders-Giants score. Green Bay leading Dallas by 7 at the half.
Stevens 22 yards on 7 carries. It's second down and 8 New England at the 46. Throws over the middle, and that was almost intercepted. Boy, was that poorly thrown.
Yeah, but the problem was Kevin Green was rushing Grogan, and that's what really caused some problems for Grogan. He's trying to unload the football and just can't get out there now. The guy that's blocking is Douglas, number 67 there, and you can see he doesn't get any extension and get Green off of him and keep him off of the quarterback. He's got to slide up there, pick Green off and try to keep some cushion.
Grogan had surgery on his neck in the offseason.
Yeah, and his dog had the same kind of surgery. The dog is 14 years old, had to have the same kind of surgery. Grogan's back throwing, and the dog's looking pretty good too now.
Third down and 8 at the 46. Dog's 14 years old. Cedric Jones can't get it. Urban was the defender back there on Cedric Jones.
Yeah, but I think what Steve Grogan wants is he wants Cedric to run through that ball. Now, Cedric has had his problems with injuries this year, but watch now. If he continues to run and go through the ball instead of leaping up and trying to avoid the defensive back, then chances are he's going to catch the ball. And you can see Steve Grogan's reaction to it. And that one would have put us in the money.
So Fiegels comes on to punt. He had a 52-yarder earlier. Henley and Irvin are deep for the Rams. But Fiegels gets off a beauty. High spiraling punt that'll be fair caught at the 7 by Henley. Why would he fair catch it inside the 10?
Well, he probably thought it was going to, the way that it was coming down, maybe he thought it was going to die and then spin right there, maybe about to the 5-yard line. That's the only thing that you can think about. He was going through his mind.
38-yard punt, no return. A reminder, coming up next at the conclusion of our game, our NFL doubleheader coverage continues with a rematch of last year's NFC Championship game. Chicago Bears travel to Candlestick to take on Joe Montana and the San Francisco 49ers. First down, Rams at the 8. This is Bell, cuts back against the grain, across the 15 to the 20-yard line. Fine run by Greg Bell, finally stopped by James.
Well, I tell you what, Greg Bell is really seeing. It's great vision downfield now. You see him making those little cuts, the little slights that he'll make. Now watch him here. He's going to pull up, do a little hesitation here now, cut back to that backside. See that little shoulder movement? That's what throws the defense off. You saw number 96 there. Williams couldn't adjust to it, and finally he makes the tackle downfield, at least helps out on it. Greg Bell's running very well today for the Rams, 111 yards.
He went over 1,000 yards today. Gain of 13. It's first down and 10 now at the 21. Del Pino. And Del Pino picks up a good chunk. They'll give him 7.
Hey, let me tell you something, though. The reason why those running backs is running so well, watch Jackie Slater, number 78. That's an all-pro block right there. Now watch that block. That's a devastating block. He takes out the whole side of that defense for the Patriots, and that's why those running backs have those big lanes up in there to run. That's how come Jackie Slater's in the Pro Bowl.
That's why Del Pino's averaging almost 5 yards per carry.
Old Jackie. around a while. We both came in at the same time, came into the league at the same time. I left a lot faster than he did.
It was a gain of 7. It'll be 2nd and 3. This is Greg Bell, big hole, almost loses the ball, and then goes down at the 37-yard line.
Greg Bell has joined some elite company in the National Football League, running the football. And certainly on the Rams, they got a 1,000-yard club of their own going. Everett's thrown for over 4,000. Ellard, Flipper Anderson gone over 1,000 yards in receiving. Greg Bell now with 1,047 yards rushing.
John Robinson has had a 1,000-yard rusher 7 straight years with the Rams. And they've become more of a passing team with the maturation of Everett. First down at the 37. This is Everett, throws. And Ellard says he made the catch. The official says he didn't. No good.
And Henry saying, hey, at least give me credit for going down here on this cold astroturf and picking this ball up. Everett throws this one just a little low now because Henry Ellard had gone. I think if you put this ball up and lofted it a little bit more, Henry Ellard might be heading towards the end zone.
It'll be 2nd down and 10. The ball at the 37. 11:43 remaining, 3rd period. Any sun that we had earlier is gone. Cloud cover has come in and the temperature's starting to drop again. The wind is starting to pick up here at Sun Rams well. Bell to the 46-yard line, taking tacklers with him. Oh, what a powerful runner. Greg Bell, 5'11", 210-pounder.
Yeah, but, you know, you get that blocking out of the backfield. And once again, Slater, 2 key blocks on the play. One at the line of scrimmage and one downfield. You see him there walking back with Bell now. Watch McGee here, number 24. Slater's going to make his block up inside as well. Now, those are the first blocks, but you see those guys getting downfield and getting those secondary blocks, getting in people's way and keeping them off your running back. That's the key to that running game.
16 carries, 129 yards now for Bell. We'll keep you updated on his accomplishments. First down, Rams. Bell again. Cuts against the grain. To the 35, to the 30. Greg Bell all the way to the 22-yard line. Finally stopped by Johnny Rembert. A gain of 30.
It looks like Bell is down. It looks like he may have just lost some air and going to have to take a little break here and just catch his breath. End zone look at it on the cutback. Talked about him coming out of that eye. You know, you get set back there deep, you can see downfield and make your cuts. There's just a nice little down, hand down, pops back up, and cuts back across the grain. Nice run by Bell. You know, here's a guy that played at the University of Notre Dame and, of course, was with the Buffalo Bills. So a day like this is like a tropical holiday for him, probably. You know, when he thinks back to those old Buffalo days.
Well, we don't want to speculate on the injury, but they're working on him, and he appears to be in some pain. We'll be back.
Arkansas battles Tennessee, the Mobile Cotton Bowl Classic, New Year's Day.
This isn't an ad for a car company. This is an ad for Zenith's 35-inch digital television with premium stereo and the incredible experience of Dolby surround sound. When you have a Zenith television like this, you want to hurry home. Zenith. Quality.
You know, I bought my Toyota Camry because 3 separate mechanics, Fred, Jeff, and Kevin, told me the Camry was a really reliable car.
Now he waves when he goes by the shop, but he doesn't stop.
Can't believe you told him to buy such a reliable car.
They were right. My Camry's been really dependable.
I didn't tell him to buy one. I said they were reliable. You did too.
He'll never see me again.
No use crying over spilled milk.
I love what you do for me, Toyota.
Enemy on the open. Moving up on your right, Bravo 2.
I'm 30 miles from the action, but I'm responsible for a digital communication link between headquarters and brigade.
Enemy tank, checkpoint 1.
If the data isn't programmed right, 5,000 troops could be cut off.
Enemy forces together.
But I'd never let that happen to my brigade.
Op 4 is eliminated.
All that you can be.
You did it, sir.
Outstanding.
It is all light in the Army.
We got out of the teens at kickoff. It got up to 22, almost 24 degrees. Now it's dropped dramatically. It feels dramatic. It's back to 18, and the wind chill is down near 0 or below. This is Cleveland Gary for a couple of yards.
I want to go back to that thermometer. You know, that was a nice thermometer. I want to try to get that one in my bag and take it home.
Gary.
Can we buy that?
Ball carry.
I didn't. You've got enough Christmas gifts.
Cleveland Gary, first round choice. You know, it's kind of tough to break into that backfield of the Rams when you look at the job that Greg Bell has done. Robert Del Pino.
Second down and 5 for the Rams at the 17. Everett stumbles, now throws to Del Pino, and Del Pino's inside the 10. Run out of bounds by Bruce Schultz.
Schultz came over to the Patriots from in Plan B from Seattle. Was a starting player for them for about 7-8 years.
Got his first Patriot start just last week.
You know, you got to look at a guy like Robert Del Pino, though. He's an inspiration to a lot of players because he was the 5th round choice with all those number 1s back there and all those stars in that backfield. He just keeps plugging away, doing a great job for the Rams. Very consistent player.
First down Rams. This is Bell. Inside the 10 to the 7-yard line. Stopped by Rembert and Fred Marion.
Boy, did you see how Bell really set up McGee that time? You know, it looks like the sweep. He lets McGee cut his guy out, and then he breaks back up inside.
Ball at the 7-yard line.
Raiders and Giants tied at 17 at the half.
For the Rams.
That Green Bay Dallas score, let me update that for you, is now tied at 10. Jack Del Rio with a 57-yard fumble return for a touchdown. Second down and 7, the ball at the 7. Everett has pressure, throws anyway, has the completion. Touchdown Rams, Buford McGee. His 5th touchdown of the year.
Rams like to use Buford McGee down on the goal line, and they did last week successfully, and here they go again. Jim Everett now. Watch McGee on this play. You know, it's a very difficult thing. He's running away from the ball, makes a nice reception, and is able to turn him back around and tippy-toe into the end zone. You saw him just squeeze it right into the corner past the pylon.
See him trip?
Yeah, but he was
Turf came up. Lansford for the extra point. Yeah, but that's dangerous. And Lansford adds another point. It's 17-3 Rams.
Here at Sullivan Stadium as they come back up the field, the Los Angeles Rams.
Let's watch and see where this turf comes up.
3.
As McGee enters the end zone. Nice little sideline tip there, and then you see that AstroTurf coming up. What a great stadium, huh?
First offensive touchdown of the game. Bell had 63 of the 92 Ram yards on that drive. 10 plays, 92 yards, took 4:28. Wansley at the 15-yard line breaks a tackle and carries it out to the 27.
Got a nice block that time from Irving Fryer, number 80.
Tackle was made by Brett Farinay. 12-yard return. There's a scoring drive. Bell now has 18 carries for 161 yards. And he got 63 of them on that drive. First offensive touchdown of the game. The other touchdown came from Jerry Gray on an interception and return for a touchdown, and then the field goal by Lansford. The only score of the day for New England was the 50-yard field goal, 45-yard field goal rather, by Jason Starofsky just before the half. 9:16 remaining third period at 17-3 Rams. First down for Grogan. Stevens straight ahead for a couple of tough yards. Tackle made by Fred Strickland.
Have to believe the Patriots saw what the Rams did in terms of running the football and decided to go to their running game a little bit, but not with the same results. Whenever you look at results in the running game, you have to look up front to that offensive line. See if they're popping off the ball.
The book on Stevens this year is that he runs better in the second half than he does in the first. We'll see. 2nd down and 9. Rams show blitz, now pull back. This is Tutupu, and Tutupu loses yardage. Strickland with the tackle.
Talking to Jim Everett the other day, he said, you know, a lot of times when you're in this situation, coaches will come in and tell you, look, let's worry about next week. Let's worry about this game, win this one, and then worry about the next one. But John Robinson has taken a different approach this year with the Rams. He said, hey, look, let's look at the big picture as well as winning this game today. Of course, that's as important. But let's think about getting to New Orleans, too. Let's face it, that's what we're all here for, is getting to the Super Bowl. So let's not lose our perspective on that as well.
3rd down and 9 for Grogan out of the shotgun. Throws deep, and it's caught for a 1st down by Cedric Jones. Fine catch. I was waiting to see if both feet came down. His right one definitely did. And I waited for his left, the gain of 15.
Cedric Jones is holding his wrist over on the sideline, but he didn't hold it when he was making this reception. Goes up on that sideline out and makes a beautiful reception and gets both feet down. Now, if he doesn't get both feet down, the thing to remember here is if the defensive back forces you out of bounds, whereas normally you would have come down in bounds, then the officials are going to give you the reception, and that's the case there.
Knocked out by Henley. Jones still shaken up. It's 1st down Patriots at the 44. They're going to review it to see if, in fact, he did get down. But as you mentioned, if he's forced out and they think he would come down.
Well, it's a question of momentum. If the momentum of the hit takes him out, then they're going to give him the reception. If they felt that he really wasn't hit out of bounds by the defensive back, then they're not going to give it to him.
They're waving to you, Dan.
Hey! First time the replay guys have waved at me all season. There you see the hit right there, Henley.
Now, they have reversed one decision today. That was an incompleted pass that they originally called
after further review,
loss.
Play stand. 1st down.
Okay.
All right. They need to open that window up in the replay booth, let it get cold up in there like it is here, and we won't have that many decisions to make.
I bet you I've run 20 miles doing running in place here just to keep my toes going.
I wouldn't drive 20 miles.
1st down at the 44. Backside pressure. Grogan overthrows the intended receiver, Irving Pryor. There is a flag down.
I think Kareem Abdul-Jabbar would have had a hard time catching that one. But there is a penalty, and it appears that it is going against the Patriots.
Pryor came into this game with 23 catches, averaging 90 yards.
On the offense, number 68, 10-yard penalty, replay 1st down.
That's Mike Babb. But I was going to say Pryor averages 19 yards a catch, and that's the best on the Pats. First penalty of the day for New England.
I wonder how many trips Mike Babb averages a game. You know, that's the kind of little techniques that you have to use down there in that offensive line, though. If you're getting beat, you know, nothing beats a guy like sticking your foot out in front of him and not letting him get to your quarterback. Usually they don't see it. They're not usually watching your feet.
It's been tough to keep the continuity on that New England line. Paul Fairchild is out with an ankle injury. Sean Farrell out with an ankle and a knee. So they've been banged up and they're moving people around. 1st down and 20 for Grogan. Has the completion to Hartley Dykes. And he's got the 1st down.
The way this young man has played the last couple of weeks for the Patriots, I think I'd be featuring him in my offense because he certainly has come a long way. You know, he didn't come into training camp until late. He signed late and came into training camp, and Ray Berry said that he really felt that that's where all his problems started because he's trying to make the adjustment, and he wasn't really in great shape when he came in, but he certainly has worked himself into great shape as the season has progressed.
Hartley Dykes signed with the Chicago White Sox, left-handed pitcher, ERA of 5.43. They say he would strike you out, walk you, or hit you. This is Stevens on 1st down. He's going to lose yardage.
What a play by Kevin Green, though. From his linebacking position, he really grabbed him behind the collar and just kind of yanked him down.
Got bad intentions.
The captain. Watch Green on the right side of your screen, number 91. He's going to grab John Stevens around the neck and do a rodeo move. One there, he hops over a Patriot back, and now he just grabs Stevens and drags him down with some help from Gray. Give him a pair of cowboy boots.
Green and Gray tag team. It's 2nd down and 12 at the 46. Grogan's got company in the pocket. He throws this one deep. There's a man open. It's Fryer. Touchdown, New England. Fryer with his 3rd touchdown of the year.
Irving Fryer showing a lot of maturity here with the Patriots over the years. You know, had his problems early in his career, but has really settled down and become a team leader here with the Patriots.
Zorowski's extra point is good. 46-yard strike. Grogan to that guy, Fryer.
Irving Fryer, number 80, in motion in the slot now. He's going to come off working against Stewart, number 23, and he just flat out beats him on a go route. Gave him a little out move there and just took off up the field. And Stewart trying to recuperate, but no bet on that one. Irving Fryer's got 6 points on his mind. He's going to greet some fans up in there, too. Hey, Christmas present. Here, let me give you the football.
Merry Christmas. Stadium, Foxborough, Massachusetts. New England has just scored on a 72-yard drive, 6 plays. It took 2:45. And Grogan with a strike to Fryer. It's 17-10. This is Bobby Delpino on the return out to the 30-yard line. Right now, let's take you back to New York. And Brent Musburger. Brent?
Well, Tim, the Green Bay Packers were all even with Dallas after they fumbled. And then they took the ensuing kickoff and marched down for this touchdown. Ed West gets it, and now it's 17-10. Packers lead. And let's go back now to New England.
All right, Brent, and as things tighten up here in New England, that game becomes very important for the Rams, because if they lose somehow here today to the Patriots, they need some help from either Green Bay or Minnesota. 1st down at the 30 for the Rams. Bell with a big hole straight ahead. Out to the 45-yard line. Tackle made by Fred Marion.
I'll tell you one thing, Greg Bell smells playoffs. Greg Bell is running like he wants to be in the playoffs. And Buford McGee in that backfield is giving him some blocks like he wants to be in the playoffs.
16-yard gain. Bell now 177 yards on 19 carries. He goes out for a breather. He's replaced by Cleveland Gary in the backfield. The lone setback.
177 yards. He should go out for a retread.
This is Gary, and he's really tagged at the line of scrimmage. He'll gain 2, but Rembrandt made him pay. Recap the scoring for you. Lansford hit for the Rams on a 19-yard field goal. It was 3-0 L.A. And Jerry Gray with an interception in return for 10 points. Jason Starowski hit a field goal from 45 yards out to make it 10-3 at the half. Then Everett hit McGee on a short touchdown pass, and Grogan answered that to Fryer. It's 17-10 Rams. 5:10 remaining 3rd period. Everett with time throws this one complete at the 40 to Flipper Anderson.
Flipper Anderson finally gets a chance to work one-on-one with Maurice Hurst, number 37 for the Patriots, and finally gets a chance to bring one in. This is a Giants-Raiders score. Giants now leading 24-17. Green Bay over Dallas 17-10 in the 3rd.
Gain of 13 on that last play. Everett told us that Hurst, the 4th-round draft pick out of Southern, takes too many chances, and they want to victimize him. And it looks like they're trying to set him up now.
Yeah, they want to get him to bite on one and then go up on the top on him. They've been waiting a long time to do it, though.
Everett on 1st down goes deep and overthrows everybody.
You know, Maurice Hurst back in that secondary is not alone by himself. When you think about the fact that he's got Raymond Claiborne back there, number 26, to help him out and kind of be the field general back there, those cornerbacks are not going to get in too much trouble. Oh, Raymond's keeping an eye on things back there. See him talking to Hurst right there, giving him some direction.
Now, the Patriots don't blitz that much, and they don't hide it when they do. So Hurst says when he hears that blitz call, he starts backpedaling right out of the huddle.
Just turn around and start running.
Blitz means man coverage. Second down and 10 Rams. Bell spins, drives, breaks a couple of tackles, and he's out to the 33-yard line. Finally taken down by Roland James.
Rams come out, try to run a sweep. Greg sees there's nothing really out there for him and decides to just stop on a dime, give you 9 cents change, and turn upfield. Watch again now. The guard's going to pull out and give him a block outside. That's Newberry, 66. He also got McGee out there. He says, there's nothing there. Doug Smith comes out, throws his block. So he comes back up inside. Nice little spin move there and gets into the secondary once more of the Patriots.
That's a telling number, isn't it? Third and 3. And the blitz came this time, and Everett couldn't complete the pass. Oh, Roland James was coming in a hurry.
Time when they come up the middle like that, the quarterback has to pick out one guy and read him and say that that guy is unblocked, so I know I have to dump the ball up before he gets to me. Watch Jim Everett on the blitz. Now, he knows right now he's getting the blitzes right in his face. You see him jump up, trying to pop it out, but just couldn't get the timing right on it.
Lansford to attempt a 50-yard field goal. His longest is 48. No good. And the Patriots have held.
Lansford kicking in the cold weather with the bare foot. Tries a 50-yarder and just barely misses it.
Bottom line is he missed it. Rams lead by only 7. The Omni in Atlanta. Tomorrow here on CBS. First down New England. The ball at the 32. Stevens straight ahead to the 35. There are flags down, as you would suspect. You saw the top of your screen.
Like encroachment by the left side of that Rams defensive line, but you don't know if they're pulled off. They're going to argue that quite naturally.
Well, Green says they were.
Yeah, what else is he going to say?
He also is going to draw the penalty.
He didn't expect to go up to the official. I admit it, I was off.
Honesty is the best policy.
Offside. Defense. Number 98. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
Did you guys have a pool when you were playing with the Bears? Every time you got a penalty, you had to put it in the pot?
Yeah, you know, and at the end of the season, we throw a block party for half of Chicago.
Second penalty for L.A. New England has just 1. First down and 5 at the 37. This is Stevens trying to get to the outside. Gets around the corner, and he'll be close to a first down. Larry Kelm was forcing him out. But good pursuit by the Rams, and there's a Los Angeles player down.
Yeah, and did you see what Brian Smith did for the Rams, number 96? He came in and really just kind of took the interference out on the play for Stevens, and all of a sudden Stevens doesn't have anybody leading him. And now it's Miller down on the ground for the Rams.
Sean Miller is the injured player. Rams traditionally have not played well in cold weather, but today, although they've been inconsistent, they've played quite well. They've been hurt by penalties, a couple interceptions that Everett's thrown, but Bell has been spectacular. Miller's up and walking off.
You know, every bump and bruise that you get in cold weather hurts just that much more. If you're in Los Angeles playing this game, sometimes those bumps and bruises don't hurt quite as much. Giants leading in that game still. You know, O.J. Anderson in that Giants game scored 2 one-yard touchdowns, and of course you saw earlier he was on that all-Jiggets team, and one of the reasons why I picked him is because he's 32 years old and has rushed for over 1,000 yards this year, or close to 1,000 yards. That's not bad for a maturing back.
Or as you like to call him, a geriatric. First down at the 43. New England. Brogan, quick drop, fires incomplete. I'm not sure Fryer knew that was for him. Looked like he ducked.
Yeah, it looked like either he ducked or he got the alligators up, you know, those little short arms, because he was afraid it was going to hit him. It came right to him right out of the break. Irving Fryer, in this area, New England area, he visits a lot of the tough areas of town and goes and talks to young people about his early gang involvement when he was a young man and how he got out of it and really took himself out of a tough situation and went on to college to become an All-American and a #1 draft choice of the New England Patriots. Really come a long way as a young man out of the New Jersey area.
Building boys is better than mending men. 2nd down and 10 at the 43. Complete to Cedric Jones at the 46-yard line. So to bring up 3rd down and long. Larry Kellum on the tackle.
Ball is spotted at the Patriots 46.
It'll be 3rd down and 7 for New England. I'll tell you this, I think the longer the Rams allow New England to stay in this ball game, the tougher New England will be. They have never lost a season-ending game here at Sullivan Stadium. 6 defensive backs for the Rams. Grogan on 3rd and 7, fires across the middle, it's complete. Barton Lee Dykes has the 1st down. Tackle made by Jerry Gray.
Jim, to go back to your point, you're right, though. If you come in and you know you head to the playoffs as you win the game, the one thing you don't want to do is allow your opponent to start feeling good about themselves. And that's what the Rams are really doing now with the Patriots. Hartley Dykes on a nice reception there. And now what starts to happen to you, suddenly you begin to doubt yourself and your opponent starts getting pumped up and late in the ball game. They're home. They got a short ride home. You got a 6-hour flight back to the West Coast. So you don't want to let them get excited.
He has 6 catches today. That one was for 12 yards and a 1st down. Grogan sets and throws underneath to Stevens, and Stevens has about 4 or 5 more.
You know, I've been watching that right tackle for the Patriots, Bruce Armstrong, number 78. A lot of people talk about him as a guy who is another one that probably should be in the Pro Bowl, is outstanding blocker for the Patriots. And if you talk to their people, they say, hey, this guy's been playing great all year for us.
It'll bring up 2nd down and 6 at the 38. Very methodical drive here by New England.
Yeah, they're really just kind of clipping away at it and throwing the ball when they need to, just not getting greedy, just taking what the defense is going to give them.
1 minute, 30 seconds remain, 3rd period. Temperature continues to drop. Grogan has the pocket collapse. He still makes the completion to Sievers. And Sievers is close to another 1st down. Eric Sievers out of the University of Maryland. 53 receptions this year. He's the team leader. Had a marvelous year for the Patriots.
I knew you were going to get that pop in there for the University of Maryland, but Eric Sievers told us, you know, everybody when he came here, they told him he was going to be a blocking tight end because that's what he's historically been. And of course, he was that way with the Rams and then with the Chargers before that. But he said he came in here and he said, shh, don't tell anybody I'm supposed to be a blocking tight end. Let me catch the football. And he certainly has done that over the last, over this season for the Patriots.
He's had 35 catches in the last 8 games. Sievers has, and he played for the Rams last year, so he's having fun here today against some of his old teammates. That's his 1st catch here today for 6 yards.
Says his strength is reading defenses and coming off the break, reading the defense, and that's what allows him to get open. Something that Raymond Berry really loves, you know, intelligent receivers.
You saw just how far they have to go on 3rd down. It'll be 3rd down and less than 1.
If you're Raymond Berry in that offense of the Patriots, you're going for this one.
Well, there's no question you're going for it on 3rd and 1, but the problem is, do you throw or do you pass?
I think you run the ball.
Dykes has had 40 catches this year for 1st downs, but this offensive line has been banged up.
If you can't quarterback sneak the ball that far, you need to reassess your offensive line.
Well, the offensive line has been hurt.
That's okay. If they can line up and get paid, they can line up and play.
3rd down, less than 1 for the Patriots. They are going to throw. They're going up top. And it's dropped. Fryer had it and dropped it.
Boy, this This one was tight as a glove down on the sideline. Irving on tight coverage. Irving Fry just simply drops it, has his eye on it, just slides right through his hands. Here's another look at it. Ball just kind of drifts right down and just goes straight down through his arms and right to the ground.
He's got to make that catch.
Absolutely.
Patriots are going on 4th down. They need one. Power formation, 2 tight ends. And they're flags. And it's going to be against New England. So they move the Patriots back. Now what do you do?
False start, offense, number 67, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
You're pretty much out of the range of any field goal kicker that's human. So you figure maybe if you're in a desperate situation like the Patriots are, you still go for it on 4th down. But now you're forced to really go to the air.
First thing I would do is put Dykes back in the ball game.
Yeah, go with maybe 3-4 wide receivers and let your quarterback Steve Grogan figure it all out on the field. Dykes used to making those decisions.
There's Dykes. He just came back into the ball game, number 88. He comes to the bottom of the screen. Out of the shotgun. Across the middle. First down, Patriots. So he makes up for the drop. The Patriots move the ball. The chains move down, and New England's drive is alive.
Well, Irving Fryer must have been born with a life jacket on. Just drops the ball, comes back and makes a great reception here, working against Leroy Irving.
The clock continues to move, and that'll end the 3rd period. That's the end of the 3rd quarter here at Sullivan Stadium in Foxborough with the score. Rams 17 and Patriots 10. We now pause for a word for your local station. As we begin the final 15 minutes, the Patriots trail the Rams by 7. They've got first down here. This is Stevens for a couple of tough yards. Correction, Perryman. Down close to the 26, 27-yard line.
The key thing there is you can't run back. You can't break it back if Kevin Green is doing his job on the backside, squares it off, and then comes back in and makes the stop. That prevents those running backs from breaking the ball back against your defense. Those are the little subtleties that make you a great player. Kevin Green recognizes those and does it.
It will bring up 2nd down and 8. The 21. Tripped up by Fred Strickland, the linebacker.
You see how Grogan is not getting greedy, though. He's just working to the backs up underneath, not trying to take the whole thing in one clip, but just very methodically working his way down the field.
The Giants have opened it up against the Raiders. Now 9 for 13. It's 3rd down and 2. Bartley Dykes has another first down. And I mean, he tagged Michael Stewart.
We saw that play in the first half. They did the same thing in the same kind of situation. Short yardage situation, 3rd down. Go to Hartley Dykes on the quick hits fashion. Now watch. Grogan, one step back and just fired out to Dykes. You see he stops right on the line of scrimmage. Now he's getting a nice big cushion from those defensive backs of the Rams because they recognize that he can beat them downfield.
Look at this. Hartley Dykes is effective. 41 catches, 35 of those for first downs.
Yeah, but that's like a layup there. I mean, you catch it in the 3 yards, for the first down.
That's not a layup. You just said it. You got to catch it. First down. Throws. This one is complete. Receivers inside the 10 to the 8.
Eric Severs has come to the New England Patriots, and they have rediscovered his hands. You see him working right there on the left side of your screen. Tight end position, runs the out pattern right in front of Larry Kelm, the linebacker, makes the reception.
Now New England threatened down deep against the Rams in the first half, and Grogan threw an interception. It's 2nd down and 1 at the 8. Flags fly everywhere. This was against the Rams. Alvin Wright, the nose tackle.
Encroachment, number 99, defense, replay 2nd down.
Wright hurt his calf yesterday in practice. You know that's got to be tight in this weather.
Yeah, John Robinson said he wasn't sure whether or not he was going to be able to go today. Well, it's apparent that he can go, but he just didn't know what the snap count was. Somebody didn't tell him.
It's 1st and goal at the 4. Stevens has a blocker. It's to the outside. Touchdown, New England. The all-important extra point by Starowski is good. And we're tied.
Patriots running the counter routine. Now watch 78. That's Armstrong. He's going to be one of the key guys on it. They pulled him back from that backside along with his guard. And he gets a key block out here on the outside right there on Irving. And that really springs his running back Stevens into the end zone.
11 minutes and 41 seconds remain. It's 17 all. San Francisco has the home field advantage, you know that. The Giants, if they win today, clinch the East. They're winning 27-17 over the Raiders. LA, Philadelphia, Minnesota, they all control their own destiny, and Green Bay is eliminated with a loss. Here in New England, the Rams are trying to clinch a wild card. They need a win against the Patriots to do it. But right now, with 11:41 remaining, we're tied at 17.
And this is the one thing we talked about earlier. We said you don't want to let a team like the Patriots back in the game late, because that's when they really get dangerous for you. The Rams have got to get out now and get productive offensively.
Starowski kicks off to Brown and Delpino. This is Brown to the 27-yard line. That last New England drive went 68 yards, 13 plays. It took 7 minutes, 21 seconds. That return by Brown of 23 yards. The tackle was made by Howard Fagans. The numbers on Jim Everett today, not too bad after a slow start through those 2 interceptions early. The 24-yard line.
Greg Bell was looking for the northwest passage when he's trying to bring this ball all the way back around, and just simply drops the ball as it just gets ripped out of his hands here as he makes the cutback right there. James strips the ball away. I think if Bell could have picked this thing up on the hop, he could have taken off, but Everett does a smart thing, recovers the ball, and gets down to the ground.
Bell has 186 yards on the ground today. It'll be 2nd down and 13. He almost lost that one. Everett throws over the middle, almost intercepted. Johnny Rembert had a shot at it and couldn't pull it in. It was intended for the tight end, Damone Johnson.
And Marion was there, number 31 as well for the Patriots. Good play on either side. They kind of just sandwiched him in there and slapped the ball away. Watch Johnson. He's on the right side of your screen, just coming off a little drag pattern right there in the middle of your screen. The official gets in the way. Rambert gets in the way, and Marion gets in the way.
3rd down and 13. And the sparse crowd gets loud. Everett going deep. Intended for Flipper Anderson, overthrown. They'll have to punt.
And it is apparent that the Patriots defensive backs have made a commitment to themselves to try not to get burned deep today.
This defense has played a fine football game for New England.
Anybody that believed that maybe the Patriots would roll over made a big mistake today.
Raymond Berry told us he'd like to go in a foxhole with any one of them. They're fighters. This is Hatcher to punt. And it's not a good one. But it gets a big Rams bounce. And it goes all the way down inside the 30. And still rolling inside the 25. So an ugly punt turns into a beauty. 54 yards and no return. We've got 10 minutes, 18 seconds remaining. We're still tied. It's one of the smallest crowds ever here in Foxborough for today's game. We're at Sullivan Stadium. Tim Grant along with Dan Jiggets with 10:18 remaining in the ball game. It's 17-all. New England had big quarterback problems in the first half with 3 interceptions. But Grogan's been red hot in the second half. 12 of 15, 150 yards. First down at the 21 Patriots. Grogan across the middle. Jones has it at the 35, and it's a first down New England.
One thing that the Rams have to figure out now late in this game is how they can get some pressure on Grogan. Fritz Sherman, the defensive coordinator for the Rams, has got to sit down and figure out how he can send some linebackers in there, rushing the passer, and get Grogan out of the rhythm that he's been in for the second half.
A gain of 15, 4th catch for Jones. It's first down, New England. For a tough 2. Tackle made by Alvin Wright. And he's concerned. Don't forget, coming up next, game 2 of our doubleheader, week 16, Chicago against the 49ers.
Bears, after a disappointing season, you have to think about them. Maybe they want a little revenge against the 49ers and figure that now's the chance to get it done.
And 9. Grogan with a quick drop, close, complete, and Pryor has another first down.
Yeah, I think what the Rams defense has to do, Tim, is they have to start getting up in the receivers' faces. They cannot allow them to run these quick slants like you're going to see out of Irving Pryor here. About 5-7 yards down, quick slant right in across. Perfect timing pattern for Steve Grogan. He didn't really have to work himself that hard to throw that kind of a pass. I think the Rams secondary has to get up and get right in the face of Irving Pryor, Hartley, Dykes, and make them work their way downfield.
You're saying more man, less zone.
More man coverage, absolutely, and start blitzing.
11-yard pickup, 4th catch for Pryor. You see the numbers. Stevens and Katuku in the backfield now on first down. Underneath again. Katuku breaks a couple of tackles to the 41.
Grogan nickel and dime you, pretty soon you're talking about real money, and that's what he's doing right now. Nickel and diming his way down the field, 5 yards, 10 yards, and here he gets a nice run out of Tatupu.
Stevens on first down. Gets a block on the corner and carries a tackler out of bounds. That tackler is Stewart.
Hey, I want to tell you something. Armstrong that time had another great block on the corner. You saw him 78 out there working on that corner, working against Wilcher, and just took him out of the play.
How are they getting him out there so quickly, Dan?
Well, he's pulling out there. You know, he's coming from the far side and getting out there and hooking up on that linebacker. Sometimes that linebacker will walk up and then go up inside. And then when that big tackle comes around, it's tough to get around. It's about a $3 cab ride.
It'll be 2nd down and 5. New England at the 36. Has something to tell us.
Ball was fumbled forward, out of bounds, while the clock was running. Bring the ball back to the spot where it was fumbled. We start the clock.
Howard looks cold.
Here's the ball being fumbled forward. Well, it's already out of bounds. They could have kept the clock running for that one.
2nd down and 5. Stevens to the 28. He'll be just shy of the 1st down. Fred Strickland stopped him there.
You can see the confidence building in this offensive line for the Patriots now. They're starting to feel pretty positive about themselves, pretty good about what the offense is doing. So you get there in that group and you start talking about, hey, what's working for you, man? Yeah, I'm getting some great blocks up front. I think I might have a fish here. So you start talking amongst yourself, and all of a sudden that, you know, that image of yourself gets a little bit more positive in the game. And then you start hurting people like they're hurting this defense right now, the Rams.
Temperature continues to drop. Down about 15 now. Wind chill below 0. 3rd down and 1. Stevens is hit. I'm not sure he got there for the first. Owens hit him first. He'll be awfully close to that 1st down mark. Here's the old left foot, right foot. 1st down, New England.
Now, you have to recognize Rams defense is playing, you know, up front. They're missing a lot of people. So what that means is you have to rely a great deal more on your linebackers to do the job for you. Fritz Sherman is concerned about the people he's got playing up front because it's not his regular guys. But by the same token, you know, those linebackers are the people that you expect to be your leaders for you out there.
Under 6 minutes to play. Grogan. And Stevens is nailed. Great play on the corner by Leroy Irvin. And he made Stevens pay the price.
Boy, that was a corner mugging there. Leroy Irvin. Well, he'll be on the right side of your screen. Number 47 comes up and makes the big stick.
You dream about hits like that if you're a defensive back, where the guy's looking back, doesn't see you coming, and you just nail him.
And if you're the running back, that's your nightmare, right? Look at Leroy, still laughing about it.
2nd down and 10, the ball at the 31. Out of the shotgun, Grogan fires to Dykes. No good. He's out of bounds.
You either got to drag your foot or do the tippy toe when you get over there in that sideline. And it looked like Dykes that time was in full stride. Let's take another look at it here on the replay. See if he drags both feet. Tries to get that other toe down. There's one, there's two. Boy, that's a reception.
I tell you, that is a reception. That is a reception.
Another look at it now. The key is get both feet down, have control of the football. Control of the football. 1-2. That's got to be a reception.
Well, they're not going to review it either. 3rd down and 10. Grogan steps up and fires. Incomplete. Intended for Cedric Jones. Again, it was good coverage, this time by number 20, Darrell Henley.
Yeah, but understandably, this crowd is upset, and I'm sure Raymond Berry is upset about that last call. There's an opportunity for Cedric Jones to get back in the game, and just a great defensive play there by Henley, coming out and slapping the ball away.
So Starowski comes on and try to break the tie. This will be from 48 yards. His longest is 50. Berry, and maybe a Christmas present. 30 Eastern time here on CBS. New England has scored on the last 3 drives, touchdown, touchdown, and field goal. They now lead the Rams, who need a win. This will go into the end zone, and Del Pino will down it there, so they'll bring it out to the 20. Now, if the Rams do lose this game, they need help. They needed a loss from Washington. That didn't happen. Washington won big yesterday against Seattle. They need a loss from Green Bay, and right now Green Bay's winning. They need a loss from Philadelphia, and Philadelphia's winning. Their last hope, if they were to lose this game and the scores remain the same, would be a loss from Minnesota tomorrow.
You saw the offensive line just kind of reaching into the whole offense, reaching into that huddle and getting one more togetherness handshake in there. They know that all the weight is on their shoulders right now.
First down, Everett throws, almost intercepted by Marion. Oh my, did he have that ball right in his hands. It was intended for the tight end Johnson.
Fred Marion saying, hey, if I had some hands out, I caught that one. 31, watch him floating again, playing that center field position. Eyeball on the quarterback, steps up, sees the tight end coming, and just jumps in front of him. And boy, I tell you, one more step, a half a step, and he has the interception.
This is what we were just talking about. Green Bay's winning. Everett has missed his last 5 passes. It's 2nd and 10. Thrills this one and has the completion. This is Henry Ellard. Inside the 30 to the 33-yard line. Henry Ellard. A 53-yard gain.
Always look for the game breakers. You know, we talked to Everett, and he told us about how Henry Ellard can come out of his route so quickly and get that little quick break in there. So you see him break inside right now. Ernie Zambezi loves that about this guy. And when he cuts back across, he catches the football, and he knows what to do with it when he catches it. And we'll watch him here. He gets about another 15 or 20 yards out of smart running.
Big gain, 53 yards. It's first down Rams at the 27. Against the grain to the 23-yard line. Tackle made by James and Schultz.
You go back in the huddle now, the offensive huddle, you tell your running backs, whenever you hit the line of scrimmage, cover up the football. Don't be putting it on the turf here, because this is the drive that's going to take us to the playoffs if we can get it in there for the touchdown. But don't fumble that ball. And sometimes the running backs tell you just block.
Under 4 minutes to play. Bell to the 14-yard line, running with Thornton.
Greg Bell has made so many yards breaking the ball back today. It's been incredible. There again, he does the same thing. Heading out, they had the counter tray going where they're pulling that backside guard and tackle. And he says, hey, forget that. I know you guys are blocking on that front side, but I'm just going to go right in behind you. Because the defense is overreacting and running out of position.
That's Marion, who was tagged and shaken up. Bell near 200 yards now. He has 199 yards on the ground.
And his career high was 221 yards. So he's closing in on that.
Here's Lansford. Look at the boot he has on his right foot. He's a barefooted kicker, but it is a huge moon boot that zips up the back.
I wonder if he's got those in a size 14.
That one looks like it's a size 21. First down Rams. Big hole for Bell inside the 10 to the 8-yard line. He's over 200 yards now for the afternoon.
There's another situation where they're pulling the backside guard and tackle. This time they're supposed to be going over to the left. And once again, Bell breaks it back again. There's Lansford over there getting warmed up.
Another New England Patriot is shaken up. He may not have to take that boot off if Bell keeps running like that. It's Ed Reynolds who is shaken up.
Speaking of linebackers that are in the Army, he is also in the reserves here in the New England area as a was an Army brat when he grew up. He was born in Germany. He's maintained his connection with ROTC and serving in the reserves.
Well, Reynolds is now getting up. Christmas Eve, there's a holiday treat waiting for you when 60 Minutes presents a good old-fashioned entertainment, followed by Murder, She Wrote, and the CBS Sunday movie, A Christmas Carol starring George C. Scott as Scrooge, all coming up tonight on CBS. 60 minutes of good old-fashioned entertainment tonight on 60 Minutes. Here in New England, it's 2017 Patriots with 2:35 remaining in the ball game. It's 2nd down and 4 at the 9. This is Bell to the 5 to the 4-yard line. We want to welcome everyone to Sullivan Stadium in Foxborough, Massachusetts. It is cold, temperature 15 degrees. 2 minutes and 14 seconds remain in the ball game, and the Patriots, surprising the Rams, lead 20-17. Greg Bell for the Rams has gone over 200 yards rushing, and now Los Angeles is inside the 5 at the 3-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal at the 3. There's timeout on the field, and we'll come back right after this. A win by the Rams today would clinch a wild card spot. If they lose, they need help. Minnesota has to lose. Temperature 15 degrees, wind chill -2. Rams have 3 timeouts remaining. The Patriots have 3. And the attention now starts to focus on Greg Bell, the running back for the Rams. 25 carries, 207 yards. It's his 3rd 200-yard game of his career.
You know, the Rams offensively, you've got to be thinking, hey, Greg Bell has been running well for us. Our offensive line has been blocking tremendously well for us. Let's just keep in there behind the big guys and take it into the end zone, win this thing, and get on the plane and go home to Los Angeles.
Tim Brand along with Dan Jiggets. It's 1st and goal at the 3. Rams. Bell, right side, touchdown Los Angeles.
Ron Robinson knowing that he's got it going now. Just get that defense out there and have them hold, and they're on their way to the playoffs.
Lansford comes on for the extra point. And I don't know how he's doing it with no sock or shoe on that right foot. And it's good. I know this. Lansford's running faster and faster to that sideline.
And Greg Bell's been running faster and faster throughout this game. He's had a tremendous day running behind that offensive line. It's no wonder that 3 of these guys are in the Pro Bowl, because you see him move off that line of scrimmage, start punishing some people on defense, and Greg Bell does a great job of running the football in, understanding what the circumstances are. If they get in and score, chances are they're going to the playoffs. A lot of desire by that Rams offense. Watch that line move off. You see him right there at that white stripe. Now watch those feet move off that white stripe and reestablish themselves 3-4 yards downfield. And Greg Bell just sensational all day long. Same kind of running. Jackie Slater up front. Smith up front. Doug Smith. Newberry. Pankey. They're doing a great job. DeVal Love.
80-yard drive, 7 plays. It took 3 minutes and 33 seconds. Key play, Everett to Ellard for 53 yards to the New England 27. 1:55 remaining. New England has 3 timeouts. The Rams have 3 timeouts. A field goal will not do it for New England. They need a touchdown. Reminder coming up next, game 2 of our doubleheader, Chicago at San Francisco. Bell took a shot in the 3rd quarter when he landed on the football, and they're still working on his side. But it hasn't slowed him at all. What's his career best? under 21 yards.
21. He's got 210 today. What a time to deliver.
Lansford kicking off. Wansley and Irving Pryor are deep for New England. They're standing at the 10. This squib kick is taken by the up man.
That's Milford Hodge, number 97. Big guys finally get the chance to get their hands on the ball. You see old Hodge, he's going to take the ball with him.
New England has scored on its last 3 possessions, 2 touchdowns and a field goal.
That's what caused all the problems for the Rams late in this game. Steve Grogan came back second half, experienced better, and didn't let the first half shake him up at all, and just came back in that second half and really put it all together.
Grogan hit Pryor. John Stevens scored around the end, and Starowski hit a 48-yarder. It's 24-20 Rams. Grogan out of the shotgun. Has plenty of time. Now throws, and it's complete into Ram territory. Irving Pryor at the 48. They move the chains. Hurry up offense.
Patriots with 3 timeouts remaining.
A gain of 14. Out of the shotgun again. Backside pressure. Grogan eludes it. And now a run out of bounds. Fans want a flag. There is none.
Grogan wanted to go downfield to Cedric Jones, number 83, but Cedric was trying to come back to him and slipped and fell down, so Grogan had to pull up and didn't throw the ball downfield.
George Bethune with a tackle. And that's a good no call. He didn't slide, didn't give up, and he was still in the field of play. There was some concern up here anyway that Grogan may have tightened up. He had to sit out almost 4 minutes during that Rams drive, and we showed you the temperature. It's cold, wind chill below 0. Second down and 8. Grogan throws this one incomplete. Hartley Dykes had a shot at it, couldn't pull it in.
Problem was, though, that Fred Strickland had a better shot at Hartley Dykes. I know the stadium's in Foxborough, but I think right now Hartley thinks he's probably in Boston.
The Rams bring in Darrell Henley and Alfred Jackson. They go to their dime package. 6 defensive backs.
Keep in mind, Strickland, number 53 for the Rams, has had 2 interceptions already in this game.
It's 3rd down and 8 at the 46. Grogan waits as long as he can. Now throws complete. And it's enough for a first down to Irving Pryor. And New England takes a timeout with 1:07 remaining. Well, he called for a timeout, but the clock's still moving. Now it stops at 1:06. Raymond Berry wants to put that time back up.
Irving Pryor in the slot here at the top of your screen, working right down the middle now, number 80. Comes across, settles down in that little hook, makes the reception against Gray. That's why I said I believe that Rams secondary has to get up in the faces of these receivers and challenge them a little bit.
They took 3 seconds off that clock from the time New England called time. They called it at 1:09. The clock continued to move to 1:06.
That's supposed to be home field advantage, isn't it? You're supposed to get that clock working for you at home.
Green Bay won, so one more door closed against the Rams. Now they put 5 seconds back on the clock, and it's up to 1:11.
I think John Robinson, what he told us the other day about the officiating, he says, I just want consistency, you know, be definite about your calls. If you're going to make a decision, just be definite about it, and then I can live with it. But if I can challenge you a little bit, get you off your game as an official, then I don't kind of like that situation.
A sparse but energetic crowd in Foxborough.
Like a Celtics crowd against the Lakers, they're saying beat LA.
The Patriots would love to keep the Rams out of the playoffs, but they need a touchdown to do it. First down at the 38. Grogan has pressure. Goes deep, incomplete. He was was intended for Hartley Dykes down in the corner, but he was covered well by number 47, Leroy Irvin.
Tied it in a Mosquitoes wrestling jacket. Leroy wasn't going to let him get to the end zone. You saw him cut in front of him and get in position to catch the football.
Irvin also had help from the free safety Newsom.
Grogan knew he had just lofted this one just a little bit too high. Oh, gee.
Pretty good lick by Kevin Green. Clock stops at 1:06. Second down and 10. Grogan's got pressure from Green. Now drops it off to Stevens. Inside the 30 to the 28-yard line, and second effort may have gotten another first down. It'll be close. Fred Strickland with the stop. Clock continues to move, though.
Strickland, the number 99, right with the stop.
Well, if the officials are going to sit to decide whether he has enough or not, they better stop the clock.
That's right. Bring the ball back to the field and mark it off, or stop the clock. In this case, about 20 seconds has gone off the clock while they were deciding whether or not it was a first down.
Now they finally stop it. That's wrong.
Well, they can always add them back on. Let's see what the decision is. Timeout.
It's going to be timeout for a measurement, but while they stood and decided whether to measure, they let the clock run. New England, in its hurry-up offense, scampered back to the line of scrimmage, and the officials just stood there. So they'll bring the chains out. John Robinson trying to go to the playoffs for the 6th time in 7 years. They're just that short. Raymond Berry, a thoughtful professor type. There's been speculation that he may not be back next year. If he's forced to add or subtract coaches, which Victor Kayam wants to do, there is definite speculation that he may not return.
Definitely a man that's capable of doing a lot of other things rather than coaching football.
Back up. Time clock should show 42 seconds. 42.
So they add to the clock.
Raymond Berry says that's okay. That's enough. That's all he needs.
It'll be 3rd down and 1. Stevens to the outside, breaks a tackle. And in that last cut, I don't know if he made the first down or not. Leroy Irvin came up and made the tackle. It'll be close. He had enough for the first, but then tried to sidestep the tackler and may have lost some ground.
Tried to dip outside, and Irvin just got the shoulder there and drove him back.
Now they stop the clock immediately for this measurement. New England still has 1 timeout remaining. They have the first down. The Rams are up against it. The Rams have to win to clinch. The only other way they can get in now is if Minnesota loses tomorrow. Green Bay has won. Washington won yesterday. So now the Rams have to win to clinch. If they lose, Minnesota has to lose tomorrow night.
1 timeout remaining. The Patriots have to be thinking here, get maybe 10 yards on the pass and try to work yourself out of bounds. We've got 1 timeout remaining with 33 seconds left on the clock. We've got to get to the end zone.
First down, New England. Throws to Dykes at the 24-yard line. Tackle made by Green. New England goes to its hurry-up.
And the defense is going to give you those passes inside, short.
Raymond Berry wanted a timeout. Grogan didn't. 2nd and 5. Grogan throws. He has a man open. Seaver's inside the 5. 9 seconds remain.
Severs gets tabbed on this play. He's down near the goal line. Watch him here. He's in the slot, 85. A little move off the line of scrimmage. But watch the shot that he takes downfield. Now, if he'd stayed down and they had to come out and give him medical attention on this play, the Patriots would have gotten charged with another timeout. He got up and ran over to the sideline.
A gain of 19. Brogan now 25 of 43. New England did take its last timeout. 9 seconds remain. No sense saving them.
Can't take them with you to next season.
And a field goal won't help. The Rams' playoff hopes are on the line. It's first and goal at the 4.
Eric Severs is coming in. Lynn Dawson is going out. You got to expect that the Patriots are throwing the football into the end zone. He's their pass receiving tight end.
Perriman and Stevens out of the eye. Brogan throws to the corner. No good. Fryer was out of bounds. 5 seconds remain.
Irving Fryer is arguing that he was in. He had both feet in. Let's look over here on the right side of your screen. He's working against Leroy Irving. Down in the corner. Makes the reception, and he is out of bounds. Little mix up there in the Patriots huddle. They can't decide who's in and who's out.
It's second down and goal at the 4. 5 seconds remain. Rams need a win to clinch. To the end zone. Overthrown with 1 second left. He'll have one final shot. It was intended for Severs.
Down here, if you're Steve Grogan, you want to get a pick. You want to try to rub one of those defensive backs off, have one of your receivers coming up, out, and the other one coming in. Try to get one of those defensive backs picked off so you can pop the ball in. Defensive front's got to get their hands up in Grogan's face so he can't get that clear sight downfield or into the end zone.
This is it. To the back of the end zone. Dykes. No, he's out. The Rams clinch. New England goes to 5-11 for the year. John Robinson's Rams 11-5, and they're going to the playoffs.
Hartley Dykes is still arguing that he caught this ball and was indeed in the end zone for the touchdown. Let's watch his feet as he comes right up underneath of the goalpost. Comes on that slant pattern. Grogan's got all the time he needs to throw the ball. Dykes on the slant pattern. He makes the reception there. One step, and the second one is out, and he didn't even hold on to the ball. So his argument is a moot point at this time.
Well, it wasn't easy, but John Robinson is going to the playoffs. They clinch a wild card spot with that 24-20 win.
So the traffic may go through.
A valiant effort by the New England Patriots, but it's the Rams headed to the playoffs. Once again,
and Jerry Robinson at 4.